This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Happy Wednesday. Christmas is Thursday, right? Next week? Not tomorrow. Wouldn't that be scary?
It's not tomorrow.
It's not tomorrow.
This is Christmas Eve.
So, the last Wednesday before Christmas Eve. 1 week from Christmas Eve.
Yep. Yeah, it's the last Wednesday. Everybody always marks this occasion. Last Wednesday before Christmas Eve.
Yeah. All the rest of the days are the last such and such day before Christmas.
Yeah, and we mark all of them.
So this is the last day before Christmas Eve.
Yeah, and this is the last time.
Eve, not.
You can't ever say good morning. It's the Wednesday before Christmas ever again until next year.
While all of this is taking place, all of your shopping is culminating. I really measure how close we are to Christmas based on, can I still get something from Amazon before Christmas?
That's a good barometer.
Can I still do the Amazon shopping, or are you going to get what I have to actually physically walk into a store to pick up off of a shelf, put in my bag, and purchase to take home to wrap?
Have we concluded that Amazon is the fastest shipper? Because if it's all, like, is Amazon the last thing you could possibly order? Or are there other websites? Not that
I don't know of other ones, but if I order something from a shop and it comes in just a couple days, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
If it's Amazon and it's there in 3 days, I'm like, come on, guys.
Get your act
together. This is Christmas.
Send a drone.
You're Santa Claus's elves. Seriously, get it. Get a move on.
Yeah.
The House of Representatives is still working, and we're going to speak with Congressman Eric Burlison. Is it at 12:18?
No, 12:30.
Okay, so at 12:30, we're going to be speaking with Congressman Burlison. He is pushing very hard for a reform regarding health care. And I want to play a few clips here from people who are really trying to explain away. Do we have a problem to solve? Yes. Is the problem, who are they blaming for bad health care? Or is the problem bad health care?
That's a good question. That's an American people question right there. Because that's what matters.
How big of a deal would it be if you were the party that solved health care? It's a big deal.
It'll have to be somewhat bipartisan. So they have to get Democrats involved regardless of the plan. But be a part of the solution.
Well, the question is, what problem are our elected officials in Capitol Hill trying to solve? And you have to you have to understand exactly what the problem is in order to solve it, which is really why I ask, are we trying to solve the problem of who gets the blame? Very rarely do we spend much time in politics talking about who gets the credit. There'd have to be something so universally understood as good in order to fight over who gets the credit.
I'm really looking forward to you talking to Burlison because he's actually trying to propose
a solution,
real solutions that could pass, too. It's not just posturing.
Well, Raphael Warnock, senator from Virginia, Georgia, this is his take.
On with health care. For the 13th time, Republicans voted just last week not to extend the premium tax credits. 13 times. They chose their donors over you. And now time is running out. I have to be honest. We are running out of opportunities to stop this healthcare crisis, which will literally begin to emerge in a matter of days. This really shouldn't be happening. This is not because of a paucity of resources. It is a poverty of moral imagination.
Oh, I gotta interrupt. That's literarily stunning.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's the nicest thing he's ever said.
Yeah, just like in words, not in intent.
Because of a paucity of resources. It is a poverty of moral imagination.
Poverty of moral imagination.
Annie, I'm right.
The Congress can do better than this.
I think that's what
people are having to make tough choices right now. Either pay double or triple for their health care premiums.
Now, listen here as Senator Warnock, Democrat from Georgia, listen here as he sets up the false choice. Here, America, are your only options that lie before you when it comes to your health care.
The Congress can do better than this. People are having to make tough choices right now. Either pay double or triple for their health care premiums or forego health care altogether. Here's my promise to you. I will keep.
Your two options are either double or triple. Your cost is either going to go up or you're going to go without. That is, according to Warnock, the only
double
options.
or triple for their health care premiums or forego health care altogether. Here's my promise to you. I will keep fighting. I got arrested fighting for health care in 2014, got arrested again fighting for health care in 2017. I was elected in 21 and 22, promising to fight for health care, and I'm going to fight for your health care every chance I get.
So how? What?
What did he get arrested for?
Fighting for your health care. Listen to the man. You should write that down also.
Tell you what, if I'm ever drunk and I get arrested, I'm going to say, I was fighting for
I
health
was
care.
fighting for health care. I was feeling bad. Now I'm feeling good.
It was for you, the people. I thought this is America.
So you're listening to a Democrat set the table right now. Did he offer solutions there? No. Did he identify what the problem is? The problem is unaffordable health care that was put into place by only Democrats in the Affordable Health Care Act. It's not affordable. The Democrats realized that. It became super unaffordable after COVID set in, and the Democrats only put in place some subsidies to try to make it more, air quotes, affordable. And in doing so, Democrats, made it so that it would sunset right now. Republicans have nothing to do with this. And Republicans out there are trying to make that case. But while we navigate this situation right here, I want you to remember we have to know right now what is the actual problem that we're trying to solve. And the problem that you might want to solve may not be the problem that the politicians want to solve. They may be only interested in, hey, if it's bad, as long as you don't blame on us, we'll be fine.
Will you all leave for the year with no change to the health care situation?
So this is Congressman Herodopoulos, Republican from Florida.
That's my understanding at this point. I mean, we cannot rubber stamp a broken system. As you know, the GAO report came out recently that shows it is ripe with fraud. I mean, ripe with fraud is an understatement. And we want to make sure that not just the 22 million people in Obamacare, but the 165 million people that are paying health care costs that are too exorbitant are helped out. And so we're looking at a long-term solution as opposed to playing the usual Washington, D.C. Band-Aid.
So there you have Congressman from Florida talking about how it is rife with fraud. And you might be asking yourself, well, prove it. Because he didn't really explain there, well, fraud, what kind of fraud are we talking about here? Because he's saying there, that Republican congressman is saying, listen, we can't go away for Christmas just saying, well, we got to do more of what we've been doing. The whole system in and of itself, the foundation of the healthcare system is a mess. And we cannot rubber stamp something that on its surface and deep down inside is an absolute cost bungling mess for the American healthcare client, and also rife with fraud. We can't just say more of this. So in comes Speaker Mike Johnson on Laura Ingraham. Let's hear a little bit about that fraud.
The mainstream media, of course, parrots the talking points of Chuck Schumer and the Democrats, but the way we defeat that is with the simple truth, the facts. The Government Accountability Office just came out with a new report this past week, Laura, and it is astounding. Just for example, over the last 2 years, they submitted 24 totally fraudulent applications for these Unaffordable Care Act subsidies, okay? 23 out of 24 were approved. There were no Social Security numbers provided, no verification of income, or even citizenship, okay? Of course not, right? Tens of thousands of dollars paid to each one of those to the insurance companies for people that do not exist, okay? Dead people, $94 million of taxpayer dollars paid to insurance companies for people that have been deceased. Then you had Social Security numbers. 68,000 Social Security numbers in 2024 alone were used for multiple persons. In other words, multiple people using one number to bilk the system and defraud it. That's the system that the Democrats created. That's the one they want us to subsidize. So when we go forward with the truth, we explain to the American people the reason their costs are out of control is because they created a broken system. We have the solutions to fix it. That is the message and the truth, I think, that's going to prevail as you go into the election year.
Speaker Johnson explaining some of the details about how they submitted 24 applications for coverage. They were completely fraudulent. 23 of them were approved. 23.
Yeah.
And the Democrats, Raphael Warnock, dude's ready to get arrested again in order to make sure this system stays in place. Weird flex, bro. I don't even understand how the Democrats, I understand they're kind of like in the moment. What is the right now? And in the situation where we have a government shutdown and they need the attention right now to try to be thrust upon the other party, again, what's the problem that we're trying to solve? Is it the actual issue that the American people are facing, or is it who the American people shake their fists at when they're complaining? Because the government shutdown the Schumer shutdown was supposed to be about health care. So they've ushered into this conversation into the mainstream, and they've made it so that this is what we're talking about now. Health care is the main issue. It wasn't the main issue before the Democrats shut the government down. I would say that they got what they wanted. But bubbling up to the surface is a complete and total understanding that this disaster area that is our healthcare system, which I've said before, and I will reiterate again, Republicans have become too complacent in just accepting that our healthcare system sucks and that it's Democrats to blame. That you can point your fingers at the Democrats and say, yeah, it's a mess. The Obamacare Affordable Care Act, not so affordable, is it? What a disaster that was. And then we just sit there and go, yeah, it sucks. And then we move on to say something like, yay, Trump, or boo, Trump. Is that really what it's come down to? Kudos to the Democrats for bringing health care and the debacle of the system that they have set up entirely based on Democrats. The only reason why the Affordable Care Act is still in place is because one person who could have repealed it, remember repeal and replace, John McCain voted no, walked down the floor in the Senate and put his big thumbs down, and so we still have it right now. That's probably the only Republican contribution to where we are at this point. There's really not another place to suggest that Republicans have something to blame here, other than the fact that we've known that it's bad and they're still sitting on their duffs not getting a solution across the finish line until now, because the Democrats have put these subsidies in place. And by subsidies, that just means the Affordable Care Act was unaffordable. They need to make it more affordable, so they take more of your taxpayer dollars so they can give it back to you, and then you're supposed to say thank you. Chip Roy, ya boy, is not having
Now we're sitting here and we're listening to nonsense about health care, where my colleagues on the other side of the aisle sit here saying, well, you guys aren't doing anything about the massive expensive cost of health care. Why do you think it's expensive? Because you literally cut a deal with insurance companies to run health care. You think that's going to run wild? Yeah. That's why they have 2,000% profit increases, and the American people can't afford to go to the doctor of their choice while we enrich insurance companies. And yet Republicans will complain about it, and then they'll offer milquetoast garbage like we're offering this week, and then go home at Christmas and say, look at what we're doing. We're campaigning on reducing health care. Well, congratulations. At some point, people will look at this body and say, maybe we should get rid of all 435 members of the House and all 100 members of the Senate and start over, because Congress is literally failing the American people. I yield back.
Chip Roy yields back. Thank you. We appreciate your words there, kind sir. This is the right take, and the Republicans need, we're halfway through the 2 years where we're certain to have a Republican majority in the House and the Senate, unless more MTGs decide to quit. Quitters. Get a solution. You should have had a solution in 2011 and 2012 and 2013, and I can go all the way up to this point in time right now. We should have had a solution in place. There should have been something that was being offered. Eric Burlison, congressman representing Missouri's 7th Congressional District, he has had a solution. He's working on a solution, and he is offering up a solution, and he'll be doing that with us here on the Annie Frey Show in about 12 minutes. So you're going to want to keep it here. And if you've got questions, I would like to know them. You can throw them in the Annie Frey YouTube live chat of our live broadcast right now. And you can also vote in our poll. Are you getting the flu shot? You already did, you intend to, or nope. Go vote and let us know what you did there. And you can text us your thoughts as well on healthcare, 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. Send us a text. We'd love to hear from you. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Peace. Chain shall he break, for his child is our brother, and in his name all the praise.
Ruler Ruler Foods, online at rulerfoods.com. Your holiday shopping for your kitchen, for your pantry, your fridge, your freezer should start at Ruler Foods. I hope that you have given yourself the opportunity to download that app. And you can see, I think it's like $75. Let me check my notes here. Over $75 in digital coupons every single week. You download Ruler. If you've never gone, and if you haven't, now's the time. Maybe you visit us for the first time at the Ruler Foods in St. Charles on Friday for our food drive, an amazing event every year. You guys did it again. If you download the Ruler Foods app right now, you can check into those $75 in coupons and maybe see some things there that you shop for regularly. Why wouldn't you spend less and then save more when you shop at Ruler Foods? You can also schedule deliveries through that Ruler Foods app. Make your holidays brighter with the Ruler Foods app. You can get exclusive savings, browse weekly ads, and order delivery all right from your phone. Find the Ruler Foods closest to you. See what kind of savings are special this week, including those digital coupons. RulerFoods.com.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
You know how I've talked about how my headphone cord is just the bane of my existence?
Your headphone cord?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got these Bluetooth headphones. You can't really buy cool wired headphones anymore.
Really?
Not cool looking ones.
Oh.
Everything's Bluetooth. Everything's wireless.
Yeah.
So these are Master and Dynamic headphones that I wear every day. Is a brand that I found while I was shopping, probably for maybe 8 to 10 months, looking for a new set of headphones while I was making do. This cord, it is a USB-C input into my headphones, and then a 3.5 millimeter quarter whatever jack that goes into an adapter that goes into the thing in the studio. But all these cords are wired for headphones that have microphones in them.
Oh.
So it's not
like a headset mic?
Well, the headphones have a mic on them. So I could run with these headphones and take a phone call.
Oh.
And not have to have a cord, blah, blah, blah.
Is that cool?
I think they look cool. I like them a lot.
Oh, they look cool.
And they sound great. They're great headphones. This freaking cord, though, not great. And I've ordered over $100 worth of replacement cords on Amazon for this headset. I've had multiple exchanges with Master and Dynamic. They basically, there's a new generation of these headphones out, and they don't support this anymore. And so I might have to buy a new set of headphones because the cord doesn't work.
It seems as if they would replace that for you.
It's listed on their website, and it's listed as sold out, and they don't manufacture them anymore because they have new generation out. It just doesn't exist.
See, that seems like a cop-out.
It super does. Like it's like when Apple got sued for changing the input every generation so that you had to buy like a whole new set of everything. The reason I say that is because where I plug my headphones in, I have to put the cord up on the studio countertop here, and if you can see, I have the tape, this roll of Scotch tape holding my cord up a certain way so that I can hear out of both ears.
But it works.
Right now it does. But this every day is a new day. Every day, I talked to our engineer. He asked if I had any of these other courses. He goes, I'd like to take it apart and see how they did that. And I'm like, yeah, I'll try to find. Remember dissecting things? Did you ever dissect frogs or anything in school?
I don't think I did.
Have you ever smelled formaldehyde?
Yes.
You can't unsmell it. It's
Yeah,
maybe
it's
one of
bad.
the most rank smells in the face.
Doesn't it
of the
smell
planet.
like pee?
Your pee? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I just smell weird pee all over.
What? It just smells like super. It just smells like the inside of a living thing to me. I don't even know what the inside of the living thing smells like. To me, it just smells like formaldehyde.
You know what's weird is now that I'm a little concerned at how I avoided dissecting something my entire life.
Yeah, I've dissected a frog, a starfish, a worm, like a huge.
Actually, I
earthworm.
did do a worm. I forgot about that.
That's the least
That was
exciting
the
thing to dissect.
most boring one.
And by excited, I'm not into that stuff.
Well, I saw all the other kids doing it, so I don't know if I just navigated.
Wait,
a
was
path.
it in class or where were you dissecting
in
things?
different classes, everybody talk about it. Oh, we're dissecting frogs today or whatever. And I remember that discussion happening, but I must have gone down a path of my sciences that I just missed it every time.
Bob and weave, buddy. I wish I would have done that.
I guess maybe I did it on
Oh,
purpose.
I did a pig too.
Really?
Yeah.
I do a pig pretty often. Not that way. I do a pig
Not
in
like
the
this.
sense that I eat
No.
pig
You don't have
regularly.
You don't, unless you're eating them, you don't have the snout.
No, I don't have a snout.
You don't have like 4 little leggies.
No, just usually
4 little
tenderloin.
leggies, and you can count their piggies on their leggies while you're cutting it open, and it smells rank, awful, terrible.
How
Don't
big
recommend.
were those pigs? They
10
were baby
inches.
pigs?
I wasn't in charge of the class, and I swore off science. After that class, I was like, I'm really more of the science kind of girl. This is not for me.
Is that when your issues with eating meat on the bone started?
I detested doing that at that point in my life already.
So you what about frog legs? You ever had frog legs?
Hell no. Are you kidding me? Why
No.
would I eat frog legs?
I don't know, because they're kind of good.
No, that has
And
nothing
they're
to do with it.
exotic.
Mm-mm.
Sort of, except they're just in your backyard.
I have distinct memories of being at my grandmother's house, who was a wonderful cook, a wonderful baker, and grandma's made fried chicken. And she would make fried chicken. And then she would put fried chicken on my plate, and I would have an incredible mental internal struggle because I did not want to eat it. I like chicken. I really like fried chicken. I would take like the one bite out of the drumstick that was right there on the leggy part of it. It's all a leg, but you know what I mean. The meaty part. I'd take one bite out of it, and then I'd be done with it. And then the grandma would get mad at me because there's still meat on that bone. You got to get that. Look at all that there. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. And then when I was an adult, I was probably in my 20s, where I realized this seems like a weird thing to come into a realization, but it's like when all of a sudden you're like, 2 things have happened. I am disgusted by eating meat off of a bone, and I'm an adult now, and I can just say, no, I'm not doing that. And I have leaned into that ever since.
Okay.
I have always hated it.
Speaking of dissecting, we need to dissect this a little bit further, because what I need to know is if somebody comes along and let's say you buy one of those little roast chickens. Now, you know it's coming from a roast chicken, but somebody takes it off the bone for you and serves it to you. Can you eat that?
Yeah. The first sign of gristle, if I bite into something and it bites back at me, peace.
Well, it's
I'm
not
out.
alive. But what about...
No, that's what like gristle does, or like a tendon. I'm out. Not happening.
Okay, what about, can you do that to the roast chicken?
Not and then eat it.
So it's the act of seeing that it come from a bone.
Jared makes a lot of things he cooks in our house. Like he'll do steaks or roasts or whatever, and I eat all of that. But he, like if you get a pork steak has it's I guess for some people, every pork steak has a bone in it. But if you cut it in half, there's a half of it that doesn't have a bone in it, and there's a half. If he cooks those, I just get a piece. And if I can get a piece that doesn't have a bone in it, and it's next to a piece that does have a bone in it, that's fine. I just don't want the bone.
If I could genetically engineer a chicken or pig that had no bones.
Yeah, you lost me at genetically engineered.
What about just selectively breed?
I'm a the science person. Mm-mm.
Like if I find a couple of random
I'm actually
pigs that
kind
didn't
of
have
like
bones.
on the PETA side of the science on this one. Ugh, I don't care what you eat. I don't care what Jared eats. I actually want my kids to not have this aversion, but I have it. It's part of who I am. It doesn't bother anybody else if I don't eat meat. Like, it doesn't need to bother. If it bothers you, well, that's a you problem, not a me problem. Eric Burlison next. Don't go away.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
We, without hesitation, recommend that anybody work with ThrottleNet. The experience will be as good as it's been for us, for anybody, because you'll get a true partnership and you'll be able to rest easy that you're going to get the service that you need while they're also doing all those things that you don't want to have to think about, that you don't want to have to worry about. They're always doing that in the background for you.
Don't wait for your next IT crisis. If your business depends on technology, you need a partner that's got your back. Contact ThrottleNet.com to get a free IT evaluation and see how we can support your IT everything.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
We're asking you if you're getting the flu shot this year, if you already did, intend to, or nope, you're not. That's the YouTube live chat poll. We'll be monitoring not only the results, but your comments as we go, and starring quite a few of those already. Participate in the chat and let us know if you're getting a flu shot this year. It is 12:31. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
From Alton to Wildwood, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Now I'm out here looking like revenge, feeling like a 10, the best I ever been. And yeah, I know how bad it must hurt to see me like this, but it gets worse.
Well, the Unaffordable Care Act, which is Obamacare, they call it now the unaffordable because it's unaffordable. It used to be called the affordable, but it was never affordable. It was always bad. It was basically designed for the benefit of insurance companies. And what we're doing is we want all of the billions and billions of dollars that went to insurance companies to go directly to the people, and they can buy their own health care. And people love it. I don't know if the Democrats are going to approve it because they want the insurance companies to make money. It was a scam. Obamacare was a scam. But we're going to see. I mean, the Republicans, I can tell you, want the money to go to the people. And we're winning that battle. The Democrats are having a hard time with it because they're in the pocket of the insurance companies.
President Trump speaking on the health insurance situation that we're facing right now and what the Republicans are offering in place. And we welcome our guest, Representative Eric Burlison, back on the show with us. He represents Missouri's 7th Congressional District, member of the House Oversight Committee and the Freedom Caucus as well. Congressman, thank you for being with us here today. It's a pleasure to have you back.
Great to be back, Annie.
So you've been somebody who we were talking about how the question on what are we trying to solve here in Congress is, are we trying to solve who gets the blame for how bad a situation is or who has a solution? You've been a solution guy when we've talked about health care leading up to this point. You've seen what the Republicans are trying to offer. There was a vote this morning. Talk to us a little bit about that and what you and the Republicans are trying to do to help Americans with the cost of health care.
Yeah, I mean, I love that Trump called it the Unaffordable Care Act because it truly is a proven disaster. And if there's one thing that the Democrats have done by demanding that we extend these enhanced subsidies is basically admit failure, that what they passed is truly not affordable for the American people. So I think it would be foolish to continue to throw money after this. And I think President Trump is absolutely right. We need to if there's dollars that we're going to spend to help people, we need to send it directly to the people and let them buy the insurance that's best for them. In my plan, you take your employer dollars and your pre-tax dollars, put it into a supercharged health savings account, and you can purchase any insurance product you want to purchase. And when you give people that kind of choice, you just watch how the free market works, and you'll start seeing price transparency. You'll see costs come down. You'll see doctors actually have shorter wait times because they want to make people happy, right? They'll treat you the way a restaurant treats you, which is that they want your business and want you to come back. So that's the kind of thing that we need to be thinking about. Sadly, this town is really good at just tinkering and not doing the big things. But I'm really pushing hard to try to get the White House on board with a reconciliation 2.0 so we can do the big overhaul of the healthcare system.
Yeah, we really want to see the Republicans use the majority to their advantage in a way that gets the work of the people done. Certainly understand the filibuster and certainly understand the point of that, but we know what the Democrats are going to do if they have the opportunity to throw it away. And we want to see the work of the people done. Congressman Burlison speaking with us right now. I want to ask you a super basic question. This might be a dumb question, but I'm not afraid to ask dumb questions because I would like smart answers, and we've got a smart person to answer it. When we talk about supercharged accounts, we want to give Americans the money in an account where they can choose where to spend it. Can you explain to me, I mean, obviously any dollar that the government hands out, they had to take from our grandkids. But that money that's going to be going into accounts for people in your plan, can you compare the money that would have to be taken in and spent to what the Democrats are proposing right now, which is to, for 3 years, extend subsidies on top of an already unaffordable Care Act? Can you explain to me the difference of the money in and the money out in these two plans?
Yeah, so right now, we're basically just sending checks to the insurance companies. We're not giving it to the people, and then we're just praying that the insurance companies reduce premiums with the money that we're giving them. It's an absurd notion, and it's not working. It's clearly not working. So what they're asking for is for us to spend $450 billion, almost $500 billion, for these enhanced subsidies that really go to very few people in America. But and these are subsidies on top of the subsidies that were already under the original Obamacare. So the whole thing is a sinking ship, and we need to stop throwing money at it. Now, if you're going to help the American people, I think, preferably, I would say we're $38 trillion in debt. Let's just let the market work.
Yeah.
Take employer money, put it into these new accounts, take your pre-tax dollars, put them into your account, and you'll find a product that you can afford, right? It may not be the Cadillac product, or maybe you want to save money and put money aside for, a rainy day in the future, but at least people will be in the driver's seat of their health care. That's the big difference. The Democrats want to give the money to insurance companies. We want to give it to the people.
Representative Burlison, this is Ryan Wiggins. We've been talking to you about your plan for several weeks now. And how much does the current House version of what they just voted on resemble your plan?
So we're getting ready to vote on that this afternoon.
Yeah.
There's some components that are part of this, but really it's very limited. What we're voting on today doesn't go far enough. And we're really just kind of tinkering.
Is it a step in the right direction?
It's a baby step in the right direction, but ultimately everybody here knows that this bill isn't going to pass. It's not going to become law. So we are going to come back next year, and this issue isn't going away. And it's my hope that the American people continue to drive this beat and expect Republicans to actually deliver. And I think that what I've told leadership is, look, we're going to have to do this in reconciliation, because anything that we're going to pass, first and foremost, is going to have hide language on it, which means no money, taxpayer dollars, can go to fund an abortion.
Yes.
I'm not voting for anything that doesn't have that protective language on it, and neither is a lot of other Republicans. So nothing's going to pass without that language. And once you come to that conclusion, you realize, well, we're not going to get a single Democrat to vote for that. So it's going to have to be done in reconciliation.
Congressman Eric Burlison speaking with us. He's the 7th Congressional District Representative from the state of Missouri. I want to ask you a little bit about how 2026 shapes up for the Republicans who do have the majority, and I hope that they continue to act like it, even though there are people in the House. Congressman Burlison, you've been one of them from time to time, who has not necessarily just gone with the herd. You've had principles, you've stood by them, you've had to be won over with probably certain concessions or guarantees. Talk to me about what 2026 looks like. Marjorie Taylor Greene stepping out of the spotlight as of the beginning of January, at least in Congress. We'll see what she does next. Is the Republican Party going to be able to govern as they were elected to do in the House of Representatives in 2026?
Losing Marjorie, I think, is a loss. And look, I wish that she were sticking around, but it's a personal decision between her and her family and her district. It's not my business. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to make it a little bit more difficult for a few months. But we've been able to operate with a 1-vote majority for the last 2 to 3 years. So I think we're kind of used to it by this point. Now, what I do think is disturbing is this trend of having our moderate members betray the Republican Party like they've done today, where they sign a discharge petition with the Democrats to force a vote on something that is essentially a liberal vote. That's not inspiring to my base. I can tell you that. And this is the reason why I ran for Congress, because I was frustrated with the Republican Party for not doing Republican things. And my message to those 4 members that joined the Democrats is, don't come asking me for help in your election. They always want people in safe seats like me to donate money to these moderate members to get them over the line so we can be in the majority. What good is it to be in the majority if we're going to do what the Democrats want anyway?
You say they always want this. Is it the House Republican Congressional Committee?
Yeah.
Is that who it is?
Yeah, they're always asking people like me to donate hundreds of thousands of dollars to be in good standing with the party, but all that money goes to fund these squishy moderates, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. People donating money to you are obviously donating it to you because they feel you're representing them in a way that they want to be present in Congress. And, I think that Speaker Johnson's job is incredibly difficult with a slim majority to take the moderate wing of the party and the Freedom Caucus wing. I won't say radical because I subscribe to most of what the Freedom Caucus has to say, if not all of it. Do you ever have to go to them and ask them for help on something, and they are willing to show up to support something that the Freedom Caucusers, more conservative wing of the party, does it go 2 ways, or is it just a one-way street?
No, it's pretty much we have to fight to get anything. We have to threaten and fight to get anything that's actually a win. Because honestly, Freedom Caucus, we're the kind of members we didn't come up here to change the names of roads or post offices. We want to change, we want to save America. So, and all of that is not exactly in the vein of Wall Street or K Street. And so it's always a difficult task, and we have to basically fight like hell to get anything good done.
Congressman Eric Burlison speaking with us, Missouri 7th Congressional District Representative, a member of the Freedom Caucus, as I just articulated there, also of the Oversight Committee. The midterms are going to be the main story, if not already, but very soon. Is that how we win the midterms, with the philosophy of going out there and trying to save America? Can you keep those purple district Republicans in Congress to retain a slim majority? It's a tough road to hoe. How do we make sure that the Republicans don't lose it in the midterms?
Yeah, Annie, I think you're on to something. I totally agree. To me, if we don't demonstrate courage, if we don't do the hard things, then the American people are gonna hand us the minority next year. So, and I don't blame them. If at the end of the day, like they sent us up there to get the job done, we have a very precious moment here where we have, the president, the Senate, and the House. Let's take advantage of it and let's do something meaningful. When the Democrats have this, they always pass something huge.
Yeah.
And even if it means that they're going to lose their election, because they play the long game, like when they passed the Inflation Reduction Act, or the Green New Scam, or when they passed the Unaffordable Care Act, right? Obamacare. All of that was done whenever they have majorities. Why can't we do the big things? And so I think we need to go big or we're going to go home.
Congressman Burlison, do you believe that the big, beautiful bill we're hearing from a lot of the economists in the Trump administration, the cabinet, the president himself, I've heard folks from Congress as well saying that 2026, especially the first couple quarters, is going to be a big year for the American taxpayer, that a lot of the work that was done in 2025 is going to be felt in 2026. I know they're hoping that will parlay into a quality midterm result. Can you give us your perspective on what 2026 might look like for the taxpayer?
I think the economy is going to get better, and I think that things are going to be getting better. It may not be as fast as people want, but I do think that when people their paychecks are bigger because the taxes have been cut, I think that people will feel a little bit of help, but we still have work to do. At the end of the day, prices are still high, and I think Trump has done an amazing job in bringing in stopping the bleeding, if you will, of unaffordable inflation. But at the end of the day, we still have work to do. I mean, Biden handed us a disastrous economy with huge inflation. Basically, he handed us stagflation, is what economists call it. And I mean, we haven't seen that since Jimmy Carter. So it's not going to happen overnight. And if you remember, Jimmy Carter brought us Ronald Reagan, and we didn't see the economy turn around until at least 2 or 3 years. Hopefully, we can make that shorter, but we are on the right track.
Well, we appreciate your time that you spend with us. Also, I appreciate your autonomy, your ability to go to Washington, D.C. and retain your commitment to your constituents and not get, at least from my perspective, swallowed up by Washington, D.C., as many people do when they go there. What do you want people in your district and in our listenership here? Of course, we have Missouri and Illinois in our listening area right now. What do you want them to know about what voters need to do in 2026 to help make sure that we don't hand this over to the Democrats?
I think what I would like to encourage our voters to do is pay very strong attention to primaries. Pay attention. If we pay attention, a lot of our problems would go away. If you actually send people up here with courage and conviction that are willing to do the big things, we would be able to do great things. But sadly, the voters oftentimes send up someone who just wants the job, and they'll quickly fall to the swamp. So pay attention to the primaries, please.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. Congressman Burlison, we're grateful for you. Thank you for the time today.
Thank you, Annie. Anytime.
Sounds good. We will take you up on that for sure. All right. I love talking to him. I appreciate the ability to have a conversation with somebody who, when we speak with Congressman Burlison, I know we're getting his perspective. It doesn't feel pre-programmed.
Well, it's really good to just hear people who genuinely want to solve things.
Yeah.
And you
even if you're thinking they're never going to go for that.
Yeah.
Someone's got to say it.
Well, he answered very honestly about this healthcare plan. Just saying, look, this is a step. It probably won't pass. And therefore, he's there waiting in the wings saying, yeah, but we could do this then. And just, I don't know. It drives me crazy. The people he's talking about that just go there because they want a job, that drives me absolutely nuts. It should drive every voter nuts.
The Fox News report on a little bit of what Congressman Burlison was talking about. 4 moderate House Republicans are rebelling against Speaker Mike Johnson to join the Democrat counterpart in forcing a vote on enhanced Obamacare subsidy set to expire at the end of the year. Congress Representatives Fitzpatrick from Pennsylvania, McKenzie from Pennsylvania, Bresnahan from Pennsylvania and Lawler from New York all joined a discharge petition by the minority leader on his push for a 3-year extension of the subsidies. So that's what he was talking about a little bit there from a Fox News report. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We pushed Wiggins America to the 1:45 segment just to give him a little bit more time. In the 1 o'clock hour, we're going to speak with Deroy Murdock and Will Chamberlain. We're going to talk to Will Chamberlain about Jack Smith. And did you hear that the FBI, when it was time to raid Mar-a-Lago, the FBI was like, I don't really know that we have jurisdiction to do this. And Joe Biden's Justice Department was like, do it anyway. Or something. Will Chamberlain will talk to us about that at 1:30. Stick around. We'll be right back. Stewart's American Mortgage is a bagel loan guy. 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. You're going to Google the bagel loan for more information if you want to skip what I have to say here, but you shouldn't. I'm happy to talk to you about Stewie. I'm a 2-time customer of the bagel loan myself. 2 refinances that I did with Stewie because I was able to lower my rate significantly each time. Now, you know that rates plummeted back in the late 2010s and then 2020. Those were when my 2 refinances are. I don't know if you're going to be getting a rate in the 2s anytime soon, but I knew after talking to you every day about it that I at least had to have a conversation with him. And I'm glad I did because I refinanced twice and I didn't pay any closing costs either time that I did it. It was a no-brainer, and boy, am I glad each month that I did that then. Now, if rates have come down since you secured your mortgage, it's time to call Stewie. If you're looking to buy a new home, it's time to call Stewie. Why would you pay thousands of dollars of closing costs when you don't have to? 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan. NMLS number 226715.
Hey, it's Trisha here, wishing you a happy holiday season. Thank you to the entire 97.1 family for another wonderful year. I'm grateful for all of you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
We all have different ideas of the perfect retirement, but they all depend on the same thing, not running out of money. And preparing for retirement can sometimes be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Find out how to build your retirement on your terms.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different.
Join host Steve All for the All Financial Hour, Saturday mornings at 6 or Saturday afternoon at 4, here on 97.1 FM Talk.
You know how we all of our kids make lists and everything and visit with Santa, and I happen to be really good friends with Santa. It's like we're the same people. So every once in a while, you know, when he's got some free time, which he did, we're cool. So he always makes it a point to stop in and have an adult beverage with me. I was talking to him about, do you ever have requests for a homeowner wanting a furnace or an air conditioner? He said he does. And I said, so what do you deliver on that? Because I'm your best bud and you never let me know. So I've never delivered anything or put anything together. But he said he was going to leave my number and my card. If you don't find it, here's what's on my card. Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. Merry Christmas and God bless.
Rooted in faith, grounded in family. We're back with more truth. This is the Annie Fry Show.
I guess I'll tell the story on the air.
Okay.
It's appropriate that it's over George Strait because it's about my man.
Okay, do it.
George Strait's not my man. My husband is my man. We don't need a list of Christmas cookies while I tell the story. My husband is admin on my social media stuff for security purposes, but also in the event that I got kicked out of something, easy access to get back in so I don't lose any of that. And on some of my platforms, he and I are the only people who are on it. I don't have a social media manager. I would love one. And if you would like to have that job, I would love for you to have it. I can't pay anything, but I will appreciate you.
Okay, I'll do it.
That's not true.
There's going to be a lot of selfies.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. There's a person who's messaging me some incredibly filthy, he's calling me a lot of names. Very vile, like the most vile names. But
Can
that's
you
all.
say the names?
No. FCC.
Just say them on the stream.
I don't. Okay.
She mouthed it.
He gets alerts. I don't know why he gets notifications for this. He doesn't even really like read them, but it'll just pop up if somebody sends me a message or something like that. And this person is saying some horrible things. It's just name calling. And he called me last night. He's like, hey, who's this person messaging you these? And I'm like so used to being called these things. I'm like, oh, don't worry about that. Don't even. And he's like, no, do I need to do something? I'm like, no, you stay out of this. I'm like, he goes, is he threatening you? I'm like, no, he's just calling me names. And I'm like, what are we having for dinner? And he gets all riled up about it. I think it's sweet that he still gets riled up about it.
See, though, I'm advocating, I think probably
from
his point of view.
It said
No.
Ryan Riggins.
No, but that would be a good troll name. No, I'm
Someone's going to do
advocating-
that, and I'm going to be like, knock it off. Ryan.
Oh, people have done that.
To me.
And other people at the station, there's people that have emulated my name and sent messages. Anyway, I think that your husband should intervene.
Oh my gosh, no!
Yes.
Don't feed the trolls.
No, because that's what I would want to do. In fact, that's what I want to do for my wife sometimes.
What?
Not that she gets messages like that on Facebook, but anytime she's
If she got messages like that on Facebook as a teacher, I would say you need to step in and fast.
I need to talk to you, sir or ma'am, whoever you are.
I wouldn't even dignify them with that type of title.
Just go straight for the never mind. Go straight for the blank word.
No, I just it's a weird existence to be, I would say, like a D-level public figure, of which I am, and like I'm just famous enough to maybe be not a private citizen. Like whatever one toe into that is, there I am.
I don't like it when you call yourself a D-level public figure.
Why,
because
it's
that
too
makes
high?
me an F-level public figure.
D-minus.
All right, I'll take it. That's passing.
You're the big D.
Thank you.
Capital.
Oh, boy. Thank you, Brad. What do you have to say
I think
about
that's all
me?
I have for the segment. That's really where I was going to. And in fact, that'll probably be the next thing that he calls me.
You know, though, that if your husband stepped in, it would stop immediately.
No, it would not stop immediately.
Yeah, it would be scary. He'd be like, uh-oh.
My husband is incredibly imposing and very dangerous. But no, it's not. Keyboard warriors are not going to be bothered. It's in a message, too. It would come from me.
Show him a picture of himself performing ninjutsu.
I thought you were going to say Ninjago.
No.
Which is Legos.
Legos.
And then I'm going to put this piece here, sucker.
See? He'd be like, oh no.
Clearly
he'd run.
this man is going to outwit me.
These are good suggestions.
Thank you. Yeah, any other suggestions for my trolls? People who want to call me the nastiest names that you can call. I'm not mad. Jared, he's fuming. We'll be right back.
Little sprinkly thing.
Mark Cox here for the Range St. Louis West. Right now, they're giving away a free basic handgun skills class. All you have to do is register for your chance to win. TheRangeSTL.com/971. I've taken this class. It's ideal for beginners. They have expert instruction. It's available in a women's only class if that's what you're interested in. The normal cost is $135. You can win the class right now at TheRangeSTL.com/971.
Hi, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, America's largest family law firm. During this time of year, difficult relationships sometimes become impossible. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. Have you called Matt Hayes yet for the crack in your basement? The wet problem that you have in your basement. What? Don't look like that. 314-227-9636. It's too bad Ryan's not on the camera right now. 314. I'm just trying to make sure you're paying attention to the important.
Always pay attention. You know that.
That's false.
I'm listening to every word you're saying right now.
Who am I telling people to call for the wet crack in the basement?
Who am I now? Home Shield.
Why'd you stutter? Home Shield Foundation Repair can help you with your wet basement. And if you call 314-227-9636, he'll come out and check out the situation. He'll be able to tell you the type of fixes that you need, the type of fixes that maybe you don't need, so that you can have an expert opinion, and then you can lay in the plans accordingly. It's kind of an intimidating process. I know you're like, oh my gosh, what's this going to cost? How long is this going to take? How disruptive is it going to be? Make sure you hire the right people the first time. Hire Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair, online at homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
If you're looking for the best eye care in St. Louis, look no further than the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andrew Royer. Make your appointment today at youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
Good morning. This is your Hardee's 2 for $5 breakfast mix and match alarm. We've got fluffy eggs and sausage on a made-from-scratch biscuit ready. Or perhaps biscuit and gravy. Ooh, maybe a sweet cinnamon roll. Wake up and smell that sweet deal. Mix and match any 2 for just $5 for a limited time. Only at Hardee's. Don't snooze on the app. Snag juicy deals, order ahead, and get to work on time. Maybe. Exclusive app offers for registered My Rewards members only. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
KFTK FM Florissant.
An Odyssey station.
A new appeal to the public. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Police in Providence just releasing images of a second person, someone they want to talk to, as they continue the search for a person of interest in Saturday's mass shooting at Brown University. Posting the update this afternoon.
They said investigators are asking for the public's help in identifying and speaking to the individual shown in these photos who was in proximity of the person of interest.
Fox's Brian Yennis in Providence.
Now, these new images come a day after the Providence police released new enhanced video of the primary person of interest we've been talking about. 5'8" with a stocky build, walking around the nearby neighborhood as early as 10:30 a.m., 5.5 hours before the shooting. They're hoping someone out there will recognize the way that he walks and carries his weight.
A briefing expected later today. Arraignment is moved to January 7th for Nick Reiner, son of director Rob Reiner, after a brief first court appearance on murder charges in the stabbing death of his parents. Outside the courthouse, defense attorney Alan Jackson urging against a rush to judgment, allowing the process to move forward.
With restraint and with dignity and with the respect that this system and this process deserves and that the family deserves.
The judge granting a defense request to stop Reiner from being filmed during the hearing where he wore a suicide prevention vest. Former special counsel Jack Smith defending himself on Capitol Hill, telling the House Judiciary Committee behind closed doors there was proof beyond a reasonable doubt that President Trump engaged in a criminal scheme to overturn 2020 election results and evidence that he willfully retained classified documents in portions of his opening statement obtained by Fox News, also insisting he acted on facts and the law. House Republicans say the Biden justice system was weaponized. The Smith cases were dropped after the 2024 election. America is listening to Fox News.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
A delightful afternoon, mostly sunny and 55. Clouds sweeping quickly tonight, 45. Thursday, clouds, periods of rain, a few rumbles of thunder. Focus on the wet In the morning Thursday and early afternoon, windy from the northwest as we get into the day. Temperatures dropping through the 40s, 21 Thursday night, but the atmosphere is dry, and 38 and sunny on Friday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Don't freeze as it gets colder. If your furnace isn't working, Air Comfort Service can get you back in your comfort zone fast with a service call for only $99. Get your furnace serviced. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ring.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
If you want to understand the hypocrisy of the Pritzker administration, listen to this. He's more than happy to give a $500 million tax break to the communist Chinese EV battery maker, Goshen, which is right here in Manteno. He's more than happy to give them a $500 million tax break. What he won't do, though, is give a tax break to the little guy struggling in Illinois. Most states are going along with President Trump's no tax on tips. But here in Illinois, Governor Pritzker and the Democrats are going to continue to tax tips. And that means Illinois' bartenders, waiters, and all kinds of workers like Uber drivers are going to continue to pay taxes on tips. And that includes the waiters and workers right here in Manteno's Mayberry Junction. $500 million in tax breaks for Chinese battery makers, no tax breaks for ordinary Illinoisans. That's the Pritzker hypocrisy. We can do better. I'm Ted Dabrowski, and I'm running for governor.
So there's Ted Dabrowski. He is a candidate for governor, but he is keying in on something very important here, and that is Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker's disdain for anything that has to do with Donald Trump. His disdain for Donald Trump is so big that he'll throw Illinois taxpayers to the wolves just to prove his point. It is quite disappointing. It is the life that we live here in the state of Illinois until we change our government, if it's even possible anymore, in the state of Illinois where Chicago corruption reigns supreme. Deroy Murdock has written an article about it, and I'd love to talk to him about it. Nationally syndicated columnist, Project 21 ambassador, and Fox News contributor from the Daily Signal. Deroy, welcome back. Merry Christmas to you. It's always good to have you with us.
Merry Christmas, Annie, to you and your listeners as well.
Thank you. And, you know, our sentiments to our Illinois listeners, of which I am a resident myself. Your article hits me right in the heart, talking about how Dems deserve brickbats for state tax hikes. What the governor of Illinois and then a lot of these other blue states, Colorado, you mentioned in here, a few others, are doing to the taxpayers just because of how much they hate Trump. It's so despicable.
It's just disgusting. And, these are the folks who talk about affordability. It's all they ever talk about. In fact, J.B. Pritzker, I'm sorry to hear it, your governor, he said just recently, affordability is our watchword in Illinois. That's all they ever talk about. And here's a great opportunity for things to become more affordable to people in Illinois and Missouri and all across the country. And that is the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and certain reduction in Social Security, no tax on a certain part of the Social Security benefits for seniors. And Donald J. Trump pushed this as part of the One Big Beautiful Bill. It was passed by the Republicans, signed into law on the 4th of July. And lo and behold, if you're in Illinois, if you're in Colorado, Maine, New York, where I live, thank you so much, clueless Kathy Hochul, and also D.C., they've pulled sort of a bait and switch. And what they've done is they've not adjusted the state taxes to reflect the federal tax code. Usually when there's a tax cut, the state taxes are adjusted so you will enjoy on your state taxes the same tax reduction you receive in the federal level. But what they've done is once you get your Donald J. Trump and the GOP no tax on tips, income, or part of your Social Security benefits, you got to take that and basically add that back to your taxable income for state taxes. So basically what it is a Trump tax cut and a J.D. Pritzker tax increase, as well as the same for Kathy Hochul here in New York, Polis, and Colorado, and elsewhere. And I think they just don't want to give President Trump and the Republicans any opportunity to give people a break and to take credit for that sort of thing. And their Trump derangement syndrome is so strong that they'll scream about affordability one minute and then at the same time take away an opportunity to make things more affordable for people just to shaft Trump and the Republicans. That's how sick and twisted and frankly greedy these Democrats are.
Yeah, and Deroy, I don't even know how
the J.B. Pritzkers of the world, along with the Hochells and the other blue states that are doing this. I don't even know how they justify selling this to the American people or the people of their states. I don't even know that they really are. We're talking about it here. You're talking about it in the Daily Signal. But it just seems to me to be something like, you hear the Trump administration, Treasury Secretary Besant talking about how, 2026, your tax returns are going to look really good. And 2026 is the year that a lot of these economic policies that this administration has passed are really going to set in and be felt by the American people. But in a blue state like Illinois or New York, they're not going to feel it. And they're going to be feeling like they were lied to. And it's really because the governors of the state or the supermajority Democrats in the general assemblies of the state just can't let those residents have nice things.
Well, it's that exactly, and I was happy to hear the voice of Ted Dabrowski, who I think I've had some dealings, and he has a wonderful think tank in Chicago, I believe called WirePoints, if I remember the name correctly. They've done really excellent work on education policy and what a disaster education is in Illinois, and even much worse specifically in Chicago. But I hear him now speaking against this bait and switch on the part of J.B. Pritzker. And I think part of the thinking is, number one, they can shaft Trump and Republicans by making it difficult for them to take credit for these benefits once they kick in at the federal level, but not at the state level. And then at the same time, if people are feeling like, gee, I'm really not getting ahead, I'm not making saving that much money, it makes it that much easier for J.B. Pritzker to get reelected and for Ted Dabrowski not to win his seat. So there's a sort of a double benefit for the Democrats who are trying to do this, unless, in fact, they're exposed and people like us keep talking and Ted Dabrowski keeps talking and showing how in Washington, D.C., Trump and the Republicans try to make their lives easier, and then in Illinois, or Governor Pritzker is there trying to continue the misery and keep people poorer than they should be. So basically, it's as usual, the Democrats, everything they touch leads to more poverty, less affordability, more difficulty buying groceries, buying gasoline, paying for child care, paying for health care, whatever else it is. So if people are tired of this, then maybe you should stop voting Democrat and instead vote Republican and end up with more money in their wallets and more ability to buy things that they need to take care of themselves and their loved ones.
I wondered to myself, as a resident of Illinois, a lifelong generational, my parents own a generational farm. I married my husband, and they have a generational farm. Like, there are deep roots in a state like Illinois, just like, other states across the union. But what does it take to make enough people in the state say enough of this? Like, if you're looking at a J.B. Pritzker, like, how much, I hesitate to even say these words out loud. How much more can you take? How worse can it get before you're like, we have to do something else? Do you look at these blue states and think that they are in an endless spiral towards one direction? Can they pull themselves out of it?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, down and down we go in places like Illinois, places like Chicago, here in New York, and here in New York City. And you'd like to think at some point things get so bad, people say, okay, enough's enough, and let's try something new. Unfortunately, here in New York went the other way. Rather than electing a Republican like Curtis Lewa, the voters of New York City voted Mamdani, and we're just going to get, as the saying goes, we're going to get it good and hard. So I'd like to think things get so bad that people finally open up their eyes and they change. I know that's how we got Rudy Giuliani here in New York City in 1994 when he came in. Unfortunately, what had to happen was to have the homicide rate so high that we had about 20, if I remember correctly, I think it was 2,200 homicides a couple of years before he got in. So once you have 2,200 bodies on the ground, maybe people think, well, let's try something different. They did. But I don't know if you need to have that level of chaos and mayhem and carnage before people's eyes open. I'd like to think you could do that before things get that bad.
We're speaking with Deroy Murdock, who's a Fox News contributor, Project 21 ambassador, and a nationally syndicated columnist. His piece currently in the Daily Signal about how these blue states are setting in with these tax hikes just to show it to Trump. I want to ask you about Zoran Mamdani. He's still mayor-elect, as I understand it, maybe the 1st of January or right around the beginning of January, he's going to become the mayor. Have you seen his presence manifest itself yet in the city since the election before he's sworn in?
That's a good question. He comes in at 12:01 in the morning on January 1st. He becomes mayor right after the ball drop. Symbolically enough, everything else, I guess, drops when he comes in. What do we have in terms of any manifestations already? I know that there's been an exodus of people who've gotten up and left. A lot of people have taken off for Florida. So in terms of people heading for the exits, that's already begun. I think a number of the people he's appointed to either his transition or people he said will be incoming advisors have really raised a lot of eyebrows. One of them is a guy who's supposed to be like his justice advisor or something like that. He's a guy who I think, if I remember correctly, is a 7-time convicted armed robber. So this is a guy who didn't just do a little shoplifting. This guy who had a gun or a knife at people's necks demanding their money. He did go to jail for that. Now he's out. Sometimes people get reformed, but nonetheless, he's a previous violent convicted criminal and convicted armed robber. There was also some announcement that he's going to reverse the Eric Adams policy and no longer clear homeless encampments. So we can look forward to the homeless people, I guess, pitching tents in Central Park or on street corners or wherever it might be, and not being told to move along. So that should make things even more colorful and thrilling here in New York City. So I've not seen, the only positive thing I've seen is that he said he would keep Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, who's done a pretty good job working with Eric Adams and bringing the crime down some. We still have a lot of crime, but it seems like it's better and not as out of control. So he said he'll hang on to her. And I think if Mamdani is smart, whatever he does economically, if he can keep the crime somewhat under control, a lot of people here, many of whom are very left-wing Democrats, will put up with a lot. When the carnage picks up and people are thrown onto the subway tracks and people get stabbed and shot, even at that point, the left says, all right, I want to be able to walk down the street without having bullet holes in me. And that's the kind of thing where he can lose even them. So if he's smart, he'll do the right thing on crime, even if he's doing the wrong thing on everything else. And a city like this, people might put up with that. But if he loses control on the crime level, I think a lot of people will turn on him and say, okay, this is not what we voted for, and basically demand a change, or, in 4 years, vote somebody else in.
Well, 2025 has been a wild ride, with the beginning of the year starting with the inauguration of President Trump, and then we've seen him get a lot done in 11 months' time, a lot ahead of us. But 2026 brings the midterm elections, which could dramatically change the way the president is able to execute the office of the presidency. You want to just give us a little bit of recap, your thoughts of the president's job so far and what you expect in 2026?
Well, I know he's came in, as you say, with a full head of steam after he got inaugurated. I mean, it was absolutely dizzying watching the number of things that got changed: the complete shutdown of the border, arrests and deportations of violent, illegal alien criminals, which needed to happen. I think it's up to 8 different wars that he was able to bring to an end, brokering these peace agreements between Thailand and Cambodia, Rwanda, and I believe the Congo, Israel and Gaza. That ceasefire is held, believe it or not. Certainly some frustration with Russia and Ukraine. That war continues, unfortunately. And then the passage of the One Big Beautiful Bill, the tax cuts we described earlier, that sort of thing. I think moving forward on energy production, energy dominance, that kind of thing. I do believe it with the shutdown in the fall, and with the passage of the One Big Beautiful Bill, there's a sense that the momentum is decelerated, which is too bad. So I think what needs to happen in 2026 is once these tax cuts kick in and the economy benefits from that, I think things will look better. That should get people in a better mood. And I think that the focus has to be, unfortunately, to getting rid of the filibuster, which I've defended for years. And if we had a normal Democrat Party with people like Joseph Lieberman and Daniel Patrick Moynihan and John Breaux and Mary Landrieu, who would have enough respect for the institution that they would say, all right, let's all keep the filibuster as a sort of a check and balance. If the Democrats take over the Senate, I don't think they'll hesitate 3 seconds to ditch the filibuster and then pack the Supreme Court, make D.C. and Puerto Rico states so they can get sort of two permanent Democrat senators from those states, since they are so Democrat-oriented. And I think, frankly, probably senators from Virgin Islands and Guam and Mariana Islands and anywhere else that has a U.S. flag flying on the flagpoles over their territory. They'll say, let's make those states and get Democrats in from those places too. So I think it's very important that while the Republicans can control things with a filibuster-proof majority, basically with a regular majority of 51 votes, to do that now, put things in like election reform, a balanced budget amendment, things like that Republicans have wanted but not been able to get through with 60 votes. And if they don't do that now and they say, let's be nice, let's be polite to the Democrats, they're going to come in and they're going to get rid of the filibuster and do all those things. So either the GOP does it now with their policy agenda, or unfortunately, if the Democrats come in, they're going to get rid of the filibuster and implement their entire agenda. So, I think, unfortunately, the GOP is going to have to take advantage of that now rather than wait and have that taken away from them and have the entire far-left socialist, neo-Marxist, if not full-blown communist agenda of the Democrat Party shove down our votes with just a 51-seat majority, or 50-50 plus the tiebreak by Vice President J.B. Pritzker, or Vice President AOC, or Vice President Newsom, whatever Democrat gets in, if God forbid they win the election in 2028.
Yeah, the stakes are so high, and Republicans have this moment in time. They need to use it to the maximum ability. That is certainly. Deroy,
Can you imagine President AOC and Vice President Maxine Waters?
Oh God, no!
Think about that for a couple minutes.
You have weird fantasies there, Deroy Murdock. You need to live a little.
I should. I won't think about it any longer, though.
Yeah, get that out of your system.
All right. System.
Deroy, Merry Christmas to you, to your family. We always appreciate talking to you. If we don't get to talk to you before the new year, we know 2026 is going to be a big one, and we love having you along the ride with us.
Likewise, and Merry Christmas to you and yours and our listeners.
Sounds great. Talk to you soon.
All right, very good.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Annie. Bye-bye.
Deroy Murdock is a nationally syndicated columnist and a Project 21 ambassador, Fox News contributor, and our friend on Wednesdays and every day on The Annie Fry Show. All right, quick break. Go vote in the YouTube poll. Are you getting a flu shot? You already did. You intend to, or nope, you're not going to do it. How y'all feeling about that? Go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel. We're broadcasting live right now on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@AnnieFry, F-R-E-Y. You see the live broadcast? That's the live chat poll. That's where we get that from. Go vote. We'll be right back. CiviaLaw.com. If you have an estate planning question in your mind, if you need to revise your estate plan, I feel like every 5 years you're probably going to have major life shifts that were unpredictable. Maybe you knew like eventually something's going to happen, but situations and circumstances change. So if you had 10 years ago an estate plan put together, I almost guarantee you that is way outdated. So call Todd Civia. He can look at what you have and get you on track to making sure that it's ship shape. Also, new laws get passed, regulations, so on and so forth. Make sure you're maximizing your opportunities with a whip-smart lawyer who's going to understand exactly how to navigate the laws that are on the books, protecting your assets and making sure that you are protected and that your loved ones are protected. And if you have dependents, oh my gosh, get this in place today. If you're the first 10 people to call, 833-995-WILL, that's 833-995-WILL, and mention Annie, you're going to get your strategy session fee waived. That's $300. Go online to CiviaLaw.com.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
This holiday season, when you get them Steel, batteries are included. Buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for gift ideas and seasonal savings. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right. What do you have left on your Christmas traditions that you must do up to or maybe through the holiday? I'm not talking about buying gifts and wrapping gifts and making, maybe baking cookies could be one of those things. But like, what are the things that you have to do? I have to watch White Christmas. It's a Wonderful Life. I think those are the only two movies left that I feel like I'll just have to stay up until that gets done on Christmas Eve. What do you got left?
We have two places that we typically go that we haven't gone yet.
Ollie's?
No, I went to Ollie's.
Oh, yeah.
I told that story Monday, if you recall.
Yeah.
It took a whole segment.
Longer than that.
Took a whole hour.
It's actually still going.
Yeah, we're not done with that story.
No.
That's a saga. The two places I need to go still are Wonder Lights at the racetrack.
Oh, yeah.
Gateway.
Never
racetrack.
done it. Oh, man. Given away tickets, had the opportunity to go for free, and haven't been able to make it happen yet.
We haven't given away tickets for that this year. I wonder if
Somebody
we can get any.
Get us some stuff to give away.
Yeah, somebody in sales.
Or just Trisha.
You've got like 2 days.
Yeah, we're running out of time here.
We're in next week.
We are in next week, but we got to move.
I just don't think that if you have never listened to us the week of Christmas, it's sketchy at best.
Yeah, we got a big address tonight at 8 o'clock. And then after that, I'm not sure how much political news there will be.
Depends on what he says.
And it depends on what they do with healthcare.
President Trump addressing the nation tonight. Prime time, 8 o'clock, live on 97.1.
Thank you very much.
It's not really for you.
Well, I still
I don't know
appreciate it.
I don't know that you, I wasn't like complimenting you.
I didn't take it as such.
You thanked me.
I still thank you for your service to St. Louis.
Yeah. That's what he meant. Well, you're welcome.
Thank you again.
You're welcome.
The other thing is, it's similar. It's the Shrine. We haven't been to the Shrine yet.
You've been by it.
We have driven by it at night. And I saw some drone footage of it the other day and thought, it looks pretty good.
I heard a story at the end of America's Newsroom today. And it was, anytime you're watching a cable news show, maybe we do this too. We kind of take a whole hour, which is maybe a little too much. But the last story of the America's Newsroom with Bill Hemmer and Dana Perino was that there's a loose pig in Oklahoma, and I'm like, what is up with the pigs? Get the pigs under control. And I'm like, it is making national news that there is a loose pig in Oklahoma.
I can't believe that the Johnson shut-ins news didn't make national news then.
Not yet. We're working on it.
Call Bill Hemmer. Bill, I got a breaking story for you.
This in pig news.
They should do like Dana Reed Sports.
Yeah.
They should have Bill Hemmer just do pig news.
I think he's above that.
There's only one way to find out.
So any other traditions? You got to go to Wonder Lights and the Shrine.
Yeah. Those are the two we typically do that we haven't done. Although we could swap out maybe a brewery, lights, whatever they call that.
I think the Anheuser-Busch Brewery is beautiful.
It is amazing at this time of year. It's been
Botanical
a couple
Gardens.
years since we've done it. Did they do a Christmas thing too?
Everything's beautiful there always.
So I've never been there at Christmas time.
We usually do the Shrine, like we'll have some sort of sporting event south, and we just find ourselves like, oh, we're going to go do this. And then it just kind of naturally happens.
Right.
And then Molly's like, can I have the stuffed animal? Because they give, no, they don't give them away. You make a donation, you get a stuffy at the end. We have a lot of those.
Well, we did talk about this
We
a
like
little bit.
scrape together cash in the car.
Because the one thing we do when we go to the Shrine is we ride the camel. And sometimes the line's
You said
a
you
little
would
long.
only do it if we rode the camel.
I would only do it as a show if we went and rode the camel and you stood at the gate and opened the gate and I
Kicked
rode
it
way
open
on
with
the
my
camel.
back, like whistled, back leg kicks the gate over, and then I tell the camel, over here.
Yeah, and then I ride it out because I'm kicking it with my spurs.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be...
You know what happens? We do that, and then the camel goes down on its knees.
Right away it does.
Like, gosh, we can't do anything.
Get off.
The hardest... I didn't think it through because once you get it out of the gate, it's not as if they can't catch you.
Who? The people?
The people who own the camel. I don't think the camel's just going to take off into a sprint with you on it. I don't think it's looking for the freedom of the lights in the Shrine. It might want freedom in a different way. I don't know. But once you get it out there, I don't think it's going to go,
It wants
yay.
to identify as a who.
Yay, I'm finally free. And it's just going to run around in a bunch of
How
Christmas
fast do you
lights.
think camels can go?
This is where I'm nervous because it could be kind of fast. I'm going to say 30 miles an hour.
Brad?
Camel? Yeah, at 30, 35, something like that.
40.
Wow. 40 miles an hour.
That's almost the speed limit on 15.
And they don't sprint either. It's like a gallop, like a lope.
Well, it'd be weirder if they sprinted. They're like big, humpy horses. That's what a camel is. What's the matter with your face?
Nothing. That sounds like something a child would say.
Sounds like something a child would hear.
No.
All right, let's talk to Will Chamberlain when we come back. Jack Smith, he's like, oh, no, everything was totally cool. In Mar-a-Lago, when they raided Mar-a-Lago, the FBI was like, ooh, I don't know, should we? I don't think this is good. And Biden's like, go for it. You got it. You'll be fine. Just go in there and let's stop him from being the president. I inferred a little bit there, but Will Chamberlain will talk to us about the actual gravity of the situation. We continue to find out what the Department of Justice was doing under Joe Biden. And shocking, not shocking, right? Will Chamberlain next.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code NEXT for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code NEXT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code NEXT.
The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-568-2790. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-568-2790 or biglou.com.
Bold takes, real talk, no apologies. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Faithful adherence to the rule of law is the bedrock principle of the Justice Department and of our democracy. Upholding the rule of law means applying the law evenly, without fear or favor. Under my watch, that is precisely what the Justice Department is doing. All Americans are entitled to the even-handed application of the law, to due process of the law, and to the presumption of innocence.
I feel like we're watching Merrick Garland say that in his mirror, like, come on, really sell it, man. Really believe it. Really make the people feel like you've got a good handle on this, because you're not really doing a good job at the Department of Justice. Let's get to our guest. Will Chamberlain joins us once again, senior counsel at the Article 3 Project. Will, I thought of you immediately when I saw this headline come out. This is the Fox News headline. Declassified records show FBI doubts from DOJ pressure and ignoring optics. They didn't think that they had what they needed to have to raid Mar-a-Lago, and yet here they are. They did. Will, welcome back.
Good to be with you always, as always.
So do you, is this like surprising? Isn't it getting a little frustrating how not surprising this type of news revelation is?
I mean, it's not surprising. I think the FBI probably was a little more conscious of the need to, maintain some sort of CYA here, knowing that Republicans might take power again. I think the FBI probably has a longer time horizon than senior political officials of the DOJ do. That explains a lot of this. It also explains that the DOJ was just completely solely motivated by the desire to go after President Trump and prosecute him on what they can. And so they were just going to bulldoze over any objections from, the careers who are so, always objective and to be respected. But it turns out that, when Democrats have faced career officials who tell them no, they go bulldoze right through them again. I think the best use and the best way to understand what this is it's explaining that both Republicans and Democrats do the same thing about pursuing their objectives, even in the face of career officials' objections. And so I don't want to hear any more complaints from Democrats about, oh, how dare you? The career officials said you should not do that. Who cares? Like, you don't obey the career officials when you don't think it's right. So we're not going to do that either.
Do you fear is the Trump administration or the Republicans that are in Congress, very slim majority in the House, a decent enough majority in the Senate, but still with the midterm coming up, everybody's got to be paying a lot of attention. Do you feel like the Republican Party is not willing to take the opportunity that is in front of them right now to do the things they have to do while they have the House, they have the Senate, they have the presidency?
I mean, I don't think we are. I don't think we have the votes in the Senate for anything radical. I really don't. Or anything even somewhat slightly aggressive. The problem is we've got 52 or 53 seats in the Senate, and you can count up to 4 of kind of squishy senators who aren't going to be in office in 15 months' time and are just not going to let us do anything beyond what they would normally would have voted for 10 years ago. That's McConnell, Collins, Murkowski, and Tillis. Tillis is retiring. So, we'll get our judges through and we'll be able to cut taxes. And, we may be able to do some things that those guys agree with. But, in terms of being aggressive against the Democrats and really putting the screws to them, no, I doubt it. And I wish I was wrong about that. But yeah. It's just the world we live in.
The reality of the situation, certainly. Will Chamberlain speaking with us, senior counsel at the Article 3 Project. Let me ask you the converse of that. The Democrats, let's say they got a very slim majority. They'd have to get 51 in the Senate in order to affect as a majority. Of course, 50-50. Then J.D. Vance gets to be even more involved in what goes on in the Senate. Do you think that there are Democrats now in the Senate that are squishy Democrats the way the mansions and the cinemas were? Those they left the Democrat Party, let alone the Senate. Does the Democrat representation in the Senate have any people who might be a little too principled to do the radical things the Democrats would want to do?
There's one guy. It's John Fetterman. That's it. I think every other Democrat is a party line Democrat and will go along with the party on even its most aggressive proposals. I think it's that simple. Fetterman's the guy trying to keep his seat, and also he's, I think, a little more hostile to the Democrats of late, and so I consider him the only independent in the party in the Senate Democrat caucus. So really, that doesn't give us a lot of margin. I mean, if we are able to, keep it tied in the Senate with a Democrat vice president, or keep it to a 1 seat, essentially not even 51-49. That's as many as we can lose and still have a functioning government without complete opposition from the Democrats. I think that that's where we're at.
I want to take you to a story that Fox News was covering with Jack Smith. The headline from Ashley Oliver and Leo Brasino is Jack Smith denies politics played any role in Trump prosecutions during House hearing. I mean, it's laughable to hear that, but I'm curious of your perspective and the way Will Chamberlain articulates how partisan was Jack Smith's efforts against candidate Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, to try to make sure that he would never re-enter the presidency again.
It was extremely partisan. The entire point of the prosecution was to get President Trump. He was the only person indicted when there were dozens of other people that, for example, like much of the conduct that was indicted in the federal court in D.C. was also overlapped with the conduct in Georgia. In Georgia, Fani Willis indicted like 20 people. In D.C., Jack Smith only indicted President Trump because he was trying to keep the case simple to achieve his goal, which was to nail President Trump on a federal felony. That was like everything else was tertiary to that. The goal was to nail President Trump on a federal felony. And every aggressive investigative step was as aggressive as conceivably possible. The fact that most of the conduct in the classified documents case, for example, happened in Florida, but they did all the grand jury stuff in DC. Everything was structured to try and give them as favorable an environment as possible to maximize the chances of extracting a conviction of President Trump. That was the goal. They were trying to do that. They were not blind to the partisan consequences of doing so. So I don't buy it. I think it's just kind of obvious, and the attempts to pretend otherwise are facile.
Yeah, if the goal was to keep him from being the president, they obviously lost. But I got to say, I have to think at least that it's not that it's consequence free. President Trump has had to defeat enormous obstacles that I don't know that there's another figure in American political history who has had to achieve what he's had to achieve with what they threw in front of him. What are the consequences of an individual like Jack Smith acting in such a partisan way, not just to Donald Trump, but to the Republic?
I mean, they're really bad because they sort of open the Pandora's box of mutually destructive lawfare. And it's going to change, I think, a lot of how administrations act going forward. I think Republicans feel rightly, and the Trump administration feels rightly, that they have to prosecute cases against Democrats because they have to reestablish deterrence. There has to be an understanding from Democrats that if you do this to us, the same will come back around on you. We will go through your conduct with a fine-tooth comb, and we will prosecute the cases we can. So they need to be aware of that and thinking of that in their back of their mind when they think about going after Republicans. And I think that it's important that it's specific to the people who really try to wield lawfare against the president, people like Adam Schiff, people like Letitia James, Fani Willis, Jack Smith. Like, they need to feel the aggressiveness from Republicans as an institution. So hopefully we can get back to a peaceful resolution. But Democrats don't seem to be getting it. I mean, you have tons of people, Hakeem Jeffries talking about how, guess what, guys, the statute of limitations on your conduct is won't be over by the time we take power again. So we're going to prosecute you. It's like, well, if you're just going to you can't govern this administration by threats of future prosecution. You're out of power. And we have the pardon power as well. So what we're going to do is, I think this is coming in 2029. It's going to be a blanket pardon for everybody in the administration for any official act, anything relating to an official act. Like, it's just, no, you can't prosecute anybody. And I think that's going to be, some people have complained about the pardon power being broad and abused, but I think it's actually the only thing that's going to save us from a kind of a downward spiral into retributive lawfare. Like, eventually we're just going to, that'll be just a default thing that happens at the end of the administration, not just the really ugly pardon list for the people who are friends of the president, but literally just a blanket pardon for the administration so that the next one can't prosecute the previous one.
Yeah. It's revisionist history to think that if you have some sort of idealistic perspective on whether that's good or not, too bad. We're here on the timeline, and the reason why we're here on the timeline is because the political party that preceded Donald Trump in both of his terms aggressively wielded the levers of power against him. Essentially, is it too strong of a thing to say? It was a coup to try to diminish his ability to get elected. And when he was elected, Barack Obama and the people involved with his administration tried to subvert him at every turn.
I think that's the right way to look at it. And I think that here's the other way to understand it, is that if we don't have this sort of blanket pardon, once you open the Pandora's box of mutual lawfare and retributive lawfare, and if we didn't have blanket pardons, then we'd risk the peaceful transfer of power. Because if you're in the administration, you might just say to yourself, if I hand over power to you, I know you're going to prosecute me. So why should I hand over power to you? And every administration would face that unless we had the pardon power available to just stop this in its tracks. So I think it's a really bad thing what the Democrats decided to do. Decided to weaponize law enforcement against the former president and the leading presidential candidate of the other party. It's a really bad thing to do. You don't get to get creative. Like they decided they really wanted to get creative and innovative with how they were going to charge these crimes, and all of them got tossed, except for the most ludicrous of them in New York, which didn't really face any of the serious appellate challenges, and the Supreme Court couldn't get involved, for example. But I mean, having done that, you've opened up Pandora's box. We're going to do something similar to you, and hopefully, and then also we're just going to pardon everybody in our administration to stop you from doing it to us.
Is the status of the New York case, which was a state case, so the federal government not being able to step in to stop that from happening? He was convicted. He's a felon. It's what the Democrats worked their tails off to manifest, and it still didn't stop him from being elected the presidency. That case is in the hands of the New York Appeals Court at this point. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it didn't have, and it's going slowly because if you remember in that case, the sentence, because Trump won the election, the sentence for Trump was nothing, unconditional discharge, meaning literally no sentence. Like the only thing is your status is now that of a convicted felon, but you have no money, no sentence. So that means that one of the things that does is it insulates it from a rushed or quick appeal because there's nothing at stake, right? The idea is courts don't move quickly when it's just like a legal status determination and there's not somebody in jail or somebody paying a fine. So that's just going to be bogged down in the appellate courts. I think President Trump will ultimately prevail, but the courts are going to take their time, and kind of understandably so. Like I don't think if there is no sentence attached to the crime, then it is not the most pressing issue facing the New York appellate courts, as much as obnoxious as what that judge in that case did.
Do you anticipate the conclusion of the appeal before he's out of office? Do you think it'll happen while he's the president?
Yeah, probably. I think so. You got 3.5 years. That's probably enough time for the appeal to run its course.
You would hope so. Last question before we let you go. We're speaking with Will Chamberlain, the senior counsel at the Article 3 Project. You can go to article3project.org to learn more. If you are advising this Congress, this version of Republicans that we have assembled in Congress, with the president, of course, being Donald Trump, to save the republic, are there actions that you think could realistically be put into place, legislation that could be signed, that could reinforce our ability to ensure that the Democrats can't get power and then, take their shenanigans even further than they already have?
I mean, I would give the president more power to deal with Antifa and left-wing violence, and I'd also give the president more tools to deport people expeditiously. I think that, much of the problem and the difficulty of deportation is that we have a set of laws with a very flexible and kind of not judicial friendly, but it's a set of laws that favors tribunals to analyze individual cases for immigration. And that doesn't work at scale. That doesn't work at scale with the things that Biden did. And it's the reason why President Trump needed billions and billions and billions of dollars in the Big Beautiful Bill to actually start deporting people, because the existing laws, which can't be changed, create this incredibly rigorous process to try and remove people. So the only answer is, if we can't change those laws, well, then we just have to throw an enormous amount of money at the problem to put everybody through the process.
Yeah.
So they could, if I were advising them and they were in a position to beat the filibuster, I would tell them, please change all this stuff, make it much easier. Make it much easier to change people's status with regard to withholding or removal, like the Abrego-Garcia case. Make it easier to summarily deport people if they're illegal immigrants and they've been in the country. They don't just get to go through the process 5 years later because they've been here a while. No. Like you can't demonstrate that you're a citizen. You get summarily deported just like everybody else if they cross within 60 days. So I think that's what I would say the law should be. It's not that way, but it should be there, and maybe we'll get it there eventually.
Maybe. Well, Will Chamberlain, if we don't speak to you before Christmas sets in, Merry Christmas to you and to your family. We always appreciate your time here. Thanks for being with us again today.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Take care. Bye-bye. Will Chamberlain with the Article 3 Project. It's always a pleasure to speak with him on these legal issues. The Article 3 Project as well. Mike Davis has been a guest on the show many times. We always appreciate it. Quick break. YouTube poll for today. Are you getting a flu shot? Already did? You intend to? Or nope, you're not going to? I have no idea where we're going to shake out on this here on the Annie Fry Show, but that's why we're asking. Let us know what you think. Leave us your comments as well in the YouTube live chat. You can text us 314-241-9797. Those texts go right to Ryan, and then he can read some of them on the air if they're good enough, according to Ryan. So make them good. We'll be right back. HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com. Matt Hayes at 314-227-9636. He can come take care of the water in your basement, make it so that it stops happening. And every time that water moves in, man, water is a destroyer. If you are experiencing water already making it into your basement, your problem is likely bigger than what you can see. And the sooner you get to it, the more affordable it's probably going to be. So call Matt Hayes and have him come look at your basement and give you an honest assessment of what you're dealing with, what you're going to need to do to fix it once and for all. The peace of mind that comes with being able to look at the weather forecast and you see rain's coming and go, it's not my problem. That is a huge, huge thing. It's worthy of the investment, but you want to make sure you make the right investment the first time. Go with somebody who's way more affordable or somebody who is right off the street who's doing this, trying to make the problem go away. It could get worse. Then you got to pay twice. Don't do that. Go with somebody you can trust. Have Matt Hayes out to your home. He can look at the situation and give you great feedback and a solution. 314-227-9636, HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, it's Scott Jennings. Thanks to the 97.1 FM Talk listeners for a great 2025. Wishing you and yours a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
From all of us at 97.1 FM Talk.
Most people spend decades saving for retirement, but few ever learn how to turn those savings into lasting income. And that's where Financial and Tax Architects comes in. They help people across St. Louis work to protect their life savings, minimize taxes, and retire with confidence. Now, they do a Retirement Planning 101 class, and it shows you exactly what others often miss: how to avoid hidden tax traps in your 401k or IRA, and how to make smarter decisions about Social Security. Now, this is a one-night, 2.5-hour, no-cost educational event. Seats fill up fast. And at FTA, they like to say that financial peace of mind in retirement is all about income. Lose the job and keep the paycheck. That's exactly what FTA will help you do. So if you're within 10 years of retirement or already retired, you can't afford to miss it. Call 314-888-5101 or go to fta-ria.com and reserve your seat now.
The YouTube live chat poll today is, are you getting the flu shot? Already did, intend to, or nope. Those are your options today. Betsy weighs in online and says, already did, just because I always have. Not a great reason, I know. Mark says, flu shot? Heck no. After the COVID debacle, I will never get a government-mandated vaccine ever. I don't think the flu shot is actually government-mandated, but I digress. That's from Mark. Let us know what you think about this topic. Will you get a flu shot or have you? 150. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range. It's the Annie Fry Show.
Wiggins!
Oh! Wiggins!
All right, it's time for Wiggins America. A little bit later than usual, but this week we are focusing on the family. Focusing on...
All right, Dobson.
Yeah, thank you. I do sound like him.
I love Dr. Dobson, and no, you do not.
I do.
You besmirched the name of the doc.
Sometimes people come up to me when I'm out shopping at Ruler Foods or wherever, and they're like, are you James Dobson?
$1 billion if that's happened one time.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll arrange that.
I did buy my lottery ticket, so it's in the cards.
We'll find out on Wednesday. Is that the drawing?
Today's Wednesday.
It's today? Is it really? Is it tonight? Stop laughing. I need to know.
Do your segment. I'll tell you after if it's good.
Habits to start with your adult children to improve your connection with your adult or elder teen child.
So this is for you, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, this is for all
Bob.
our parents.
This is a Christmas letter to our parents.
How about this one? Consistent check-ins.
Oh.
No.
Not necessary. Okay. Let me ask a follow-up question. Is this for like newly adult kids?
It doesn't. There's no delineation.
When you're 40, that's a little different than when you're like 22.
It is very different. It's very different than if you're 18. Yeah. But regardless, It says you may feel like it was only yesterday that your kiddo told you everything, to the point that sometimes lovingly you wish that they came home with a mute
Check-ins
button.
are never bad.
But however,
as long
you
as
may
it's not meddling.
Now feel like you are going days without talking, or taking turns without talking to each other.
days.
Regular intentional check-ins can help with that. This is a good thing.
Yeah. And text messages makes that super simple.
It does make it a lot easier. How about this one? Try their hobbies. Trying something that brings your adult child joy is a way to enter into their world.
It's really, I'm thinking it's really like you're an adult child until you have grandchildren, and then then you're just like not the important one anymore.
Facts.
It's like, try their hobbies. My hobbies are going to where my kids are.
Yeah.
Join me. Sit
yeah,
with
you want
me.
to come
Yeah.
hang out?
And they do,
That's
which is
where I
great.
am. Absolutely. I saw your family at a grandkid event. It wasn't yours.
It was my nephew's upward basketball game. Yeah.
Yeah, we hung out. It was
Yeah.
just like every Saturday. Shut up. The ongoing joke, if you're new to the Annie Fry Show, is that I hang out with Annie's family all the time without Annie.
Without inviting me.
It's great.
Just
We all have a
because
lot of fun without her.
My dad likes him more than me.
Yep. The next
Except
way-
for your grammar.
And
He's
these
not
are
really
ways.
pleased.
These are ways in which your dad could connect with me better.
Okay, there you go. Come on, Chuck, get on the ball.
Start a new family tradition.
You want to go organize with my dad?
Birthdays.
Anybody for a colored spreadsheet? How about a map of next summer's garden?
Birthdays. Is that real?
Darn right it is.
Holidays and vacations may change as your adult child moves, partners up, or has their own kids. So there's your answer. It's about that right age. It's 20-ish. However, you can still have annual anchor points like sending one another postcards whenever
Send
you go
my
on
dad
vacation.
a postcard, please.
Well, I don't know why I wouldn't do that now.
You have to regularly.
Postcards are one of the best things to buy on vacation. You know why?
Because they're cheap.
They're very cheap.
Yeah.
And they remind you of the
Just-
place because they usually have a picture of the place you're in.
Just like you.
Like, oh, wow, 50 cents. I think I can afford to remember my trip to...
I don't think you can buy a postcard for cheaper than the post stamp.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if you can.
No, you can't.
But you still have to put a stamp on it, so it's
Yeah.
not as if...
61 cents for a postcard.
Is it?
Yeah. I remember when it was like 15. How old do I sound? I remember
sending postcards to my friends. It was only 15 cents.
I did send postcards to my friends in grade school. Oh, when you
From
go on vacation?
vacation?
Heck yeah. All of them.
We intended to do that when we went this vacation.
If I did that now, my
But-
friends would be like, okay, jerk. Just so you're on vacation.
Just text me.
Just keep it to yourself.
Yeah, there's not really a reason to
Yeah.
send a postcard.
I'm going to send you a postcard in Destin, Florida from Edwardsville.
Yeah. You get home before it gets home.
Yeah.
You offer to mentor them. Seems like a strange offer, but okay.
He could mentor you on your...
Are you still talking about your
grammar.
dad?
Yeah.
Mother and father don't always know best. We'll get to that. But you may have wisdom and skills that your adult child can tap into. For instance, you may have experience publishing a book, and they've expressed interest in doing so. Or perhaps your financial background can help them set up a savings account for their new baby. Offering to mentor, I think, is fine. But these seem like common things that you would just do anyway if you're involved. Stop trying to fix their problems.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a difference between mentorship and solving their problems for them. Plus, your child may not want the advice
To be
or
better.
learn how to fish from you, or any respect, and they might disrespect the inclination to do so.
Yeah.
Set clear boundaries and expectations.
Yeah, you gotta, I presume, I'm not there yet, but you have to define that, like, you trust the kid to do it themselves, to handle things themselves, so that when they come back to ask for help, it's because they want the help and not because you're sitting there going, like, I knew you'd be back to ask for, you need to establish that channel to be like a choice two-way kind of channel. I remember that. I was super independent, though.
Last one is practice an adult-to-adult communication style instead of talking to them as if they're still kids.
Practice? Just do.
Just do.
Yeah. It's a weird time. I'm kind of worried about it. It's getting here closer than I like to admit. Stick around. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Stewart's American Mortgage, Bagel Loan. If you're looking to purchase a new home or to position yourself financially better in the new year, a phone call to Stewie is a great way to start that. I'm going to talk about cash out refinances. If you have a strong equity in your house, a lot of us do, just because housing prices have gone astronomically through the roof. No pun intended. If you have high interest credit card debt, if you've got medical debt, if you've got something like a student loan debt or something, match the interest that you would be paying on that when it's eating away at your ability to save with the equity you have on your home, and then make that equity work for you. And do it with a bagel loan, because when you refinance your home with Stewart's American Mortgage and the bagel loan, you don't pay anything to close that new loan. It just doesn't cost you anything. So have that conversation with Stewie. Some people will refinance, pull some equity out, and maybe even refinance for a lower term than you had originally. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan. NMLS number 226715.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you.
You know, there's a certain way we do things around here. The Grasser way.
The Grasser way?
We don't cut corners and we don't take shortcuts. Not on the little stuff and not on the big stuff.
We do the big stuff.
That's right. Whole home generators that kick on the moment the grid gives up. Lights stay on, heat stays on, your family stays safe, so your house stays warm.
And your ice cream stays frozen.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
This is Kyle Bush with Crinch Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. Life changes, divorce, loss of a loved one, or an inheritance. It can be overwhelming. We provide the resources, long-standing support, and thoughtful guidance you need to plan ahead. With our help and experience, you don't have to navigate these transitions alone. You can move forward with greater clarity and confidence. Your goals, our mission, start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
A dignified transfer in Delaware. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Trump at Dover Air Force Base as the bodies of 3 Americans arrive home. 2 Iowa National Guard members and an Army interpreter killed in Syria.
These soldiers are heroes, and they are receiving a hero's welcome home. This is just such a tragic moment for their families, and the honor that they will receive right now is so important.
Fox's Trey Yingst. The Pentagon has said the soldiers were killed in an ISIS-related ambush. Tonight, the president addresses the nation, expected to focus on what he argues are many accomplishments, including progress on the economy. You can hear live coverage at foxnewsradio.com. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
If Donald Trump had any shred of honesty and self-respect and self-insight, he'd look into the camera tonight and say to the American people, I have failed you.
This as Democrats keep up the pressure on affordability issues, including health care, with Obamacare premiums expected to spike as subsidies expire this month. Today, 4 moderate House Republicans joining Democrats in a move to force a vote on extending the subsidies, but that vote is not expected now. A separate Republican bill is on the floor that would not continue the subsidies, aimed instead at reforming Obamacare. On day 5 of the search for the mass shooter who killed 2 students and wounded 9 at Brown University in Rhode Island, Providence police are now looking for a second person, releasing new images.
The agency, though, is not calling this a second person of interest, but instead saying this person was near the man they've been searching for, described as 5'8" with a stocky build, who was casing the neighborhood near Brown before the shooting and captured leaving moments after the gunfire.
Fox's CB Cotton in Providence. As the search continues, the university continues to face questions about potential security lapses. America is listening to Fox News.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
A delightful afternoon, mostly sunny and 55. Clouds sweeping quickly tonight, 45. Thursday, clouds, periods of rain, a few rumbles of thunder. Focus on the wet in the morning Thursday and early afternoon. Windy from the northwest as we get into the day. Temperatures dropping through the 40s. 21 Thursday night, but the atmosphere is dry. And 38 and sunny on Friday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Rain.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
So I asked Ryan a little bit earlier in the show what traditions, what are the Christmassy things that you still have to do before Christmas gets here? You said you need to go to the Shrine and the Wonder Lights at the racetrack. I said I need to watch White Christmas and It's a Wonderful Life, which I will say, admittedly, along with the Polar Express, is I try to watch those movies as close to Christmas as possible. So it's not like, we'll watch Elf. You can't get through Christmas without seeing Elf. Now, whether you ever sit down to push play on the beginning of Elf and watch it all the way through, that's a little bit more of a challenge. But those are two of the things, a lot of cookie baking that needs to happen. But none of that stuff happens until the kids get out of school, and that is commencing after Friday. Brad, anything you have on your list of stuff you got to get done? Sounds like a no.
No, I was trying to think. It's like, we've checked kind of our movie checklist off. Maybe Muppet Christmas Carol, unless my wife watched it without me. I don't think she did. So probably that is the movie that we need to watch. But really our traditions from here on seem to be like time with friends and family.
So nothing specific.
Right.
Okay.
Christmas Eve
So
service.
do you see church definitely once it gets there, once the time gets there? Do you ever go to the movie theater over Christmas? Christmas is supposed to be a big time when movies are released.
I never have. Never have.
I've never really been that person either.
And I don't want to say I envy the people who do, because I could do it, but it always sounds like fun when people talk about doing it. And usually there are pretty good movies out, although right now, I don't know.
Well, I want to play for you a trailer that I have stumbled across that I am incredibly excited for, and I am bummed that it doesn't come out until November of 2026. But have you heard of this Jimmy Stewart biopic?
No.
No.
Dear Fatherland, I'm not afraid, man. I'm at the end of my rope, and I show me the way. You are a star, and America needs stars right now.
How does it feel to be a legend, James?
It's the best feeling in the world.
Black skies are coming, Jim. Mark my words, we'll be at war before Christmas.
Don't I have the right to serve my country just like anyone else does?
America can't afford to lose Jimmy Stewart. War, you're just not cut out for it. And make peace with the fact that you are what you are. Just an actor.
I've done this scene in so many movies. But this isn't a movie. This is my life.
What the audience needs is the truth. The question is, are you brave enough to give it to them?
Someday, I'd like to be able to look at myself in the mirror and see a good man looking back at me.
So November 6th of 2026, and the movie's called Jimmy. Doesn't that look great?
Hey, that's the first I've even heard of that.
I know, same. I saw it on my ex profile or thread or whatever when I was scrolling for something else, and I saw it and I stopped and I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's got a bunch of great actors in it that I really appreciate and respect. So I really want to see it. And then I was thinking, like, what do we get to watch this year? And there's a Neil Diamond movie. Did we talk about this on Monday? I think we did.
Bit.
Because you were talking about it and I didn't know that the Hugh Jackman movie that I've been seeing pushed quite a lot with Kate Hudson, I didn't know that he was supposed to be Neil Diamond.
Yeah, he's supposed to be Neil Diamond.
I just thought they were people singing in bars.
I don't like biopics very much, to be honest with you. That Jimmy one looks great.
It looks great. The actor sounds great. I that's the type of thing where you got to like watch it and you have to give yourself over to because Jimmy Stewart is an impression. That is but that guy sounds just like him. But if any there are people who are impersonated. Jimmy Stewart is one of those people. Yeah. You don't go out and, you could do an impersonation of Robert Downey Jr., but it would have to be kind of in delivery and kind of the sachet that he has. Nobody sounds like Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah, or Christopher Walken.
Yes, unless you're trying to sound like if you're trying to do Jimmy Stewart, you could probably do a pretty bad Jimmy Stewart and people would still know that you're trying to do Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah.
And he's got a pretty good American story about him. So I'm really excited to see that. I want to know is there any Neil Diamond appreciation in the Ryan Wiggins world?
I don't dislike Neil Diamond. I don't get what the friggin' big deal about Neil Diamond is or ever has been.
I feel like I missed the story where people were like, we need a Neil Diamond movie by Hugh Jackman.
That guy, he is such a polarizing figure.
How? I don't even know
how.
Some
people love him, and I don't get it. I don't get why he was such a phenomenon. He's got a few good songs, but so does Cat Stevens.
He does.
And so does 1,000 other people from the 70s.
Neil Diamond does Sweet Caroline, correct?
Yes, iconic song.
What else do I know that Neil Diamond does?
That's the problem, is that I'll hear it and go, oh yeah, that's a Neil Diamond song.
Because I feel like
there's something like Coming to America or something like that. It's another big one.
Living in America. No.
No.
The age that we are, early 40s, Neil Diamond is a little too old for our age.
And they're targeting those ads at us.
Yeah, why?
I don't get it.
It's like, you keep your AARP away from me.
Darn right. I just had an ad pop up for that the other day.
I do not need ads for incontinence.
No, I don't either.
Just because I'm around Ryan Wiggins doesn't mean I have his problems.
I can poop fine. I just said that. And I want to acknowledge that I said
That's
that.
not what incontinence is.
I think it's both.
I'm saying I'm regular.
Isn't it both?
What's incontinence, Brad?
Incontinence meaning didn't see this conversation going that way.
Means you
lack of voluntary control over urination or defecation.
See?
Brad.
I can poop just fine. And I stand by that.
I think it's super weird how quickly you went to that, though.
Well, you said I was incontinent. What am I supposed to say?
I was talking about your pee problem.
I don't have pee incontinence either. I don't want to see the Little Boy Blue movie with Neil Diamond.
Is that what it's called?
It's called Big Boy Blue or something like that. It's not called either one of those
It only looks, what does Neil Diamond even look like? How do you spell Neil? Is it with an I or
why do people care? Song Sung Blue. Song Sung Blue. Okay.
Does he look like Neil Diamond?
Not really. They combed his hair
kind of that way. He looks like Hugh Jackman just got out of bed and had a bender.
Yeah, that is what it looks like. Somebody chime in on the chat and tell us what the big deal is.
Yeah, it might be a great movie. I'm totally open to it being a great movie. I don't know if it's getting reviews in the positive or the negative. I don't know. I don't have an interest in Neil Diamond, but maybe I will after the fact.
Wait a minute.
I didn't have a huge interest in, what?
Somebody is saying, now this has got to be fake. Somebody in our chat is saying The movie isn't about Neil Diamond, but about a Neil Diamond impersonator.
This says right here, I'm reading this. You sent me down the wrong path. The main recent Neil Diamond movie is Song Sung Blue, starring Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson as a real-life couple who form a popular Neil Diamond tribute band.
What?
Lightning and Thunder.
But why does he look kind of like Neil Diamond then?
Because it's a tribute.
So he's supposed to look like a guy who doesn't quite look like Neil Diamond?
Exploring their dreams and struggles. It's based on a 2008 documentary. Before that, Neil Diamond starred in his own musical film, The Jazz Singer, alongside Lawrence. So no wonder I didn't know that that's what it was supposed to be about, because it's not.
You still have to like Neil Diamond to care about a movie about a Neil Diamond impersonator. It's not even about the real one.
I actually think the more you like Neil Diamond, the more skeptical you might be of the impersonator.
This movie is a mess. Now I kind of want to see it.
Maybe that's why.
What if it's really good? Like, I wasn't super into P.T. Barnum, but I watched The Greatest Showman, one of my favorite movies. Hugh Jackman is so wildly talented.
And they're promoting this movie like crazy.
It is. Like, I feel like they really want us to like it.
Maybe, I think, though, it's some of the media we watch is what they're promoting it on. Like, it is all over Fox News right now. And that's got to be because of the demographic.
TV?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it there.
Oh, every day in the office when I'm sitting there doing show prep or
My
whatever,
dog
it's on.
knows the music that plays at the beginning of commercials that have dogs in them.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she runs into the room and then runs up to the TV and yells at him.
Which dog?
Rosie, the Australian Shepherd. Winnie just runs around and barks.
Oh. Okay.
And eats things. But yeah, she will know that there's a commercial coming on and it's got a dog in it, and she's in there to say something about it. So you're not going to... There's no movies on tap for you to go watch?
There was the new Running Man. We talked about this a couple weeks ago that we were going to go see and then didn't. So I still would like to see the Running Man with Glenn Powell.
What about Avatar, Fire and Ash?
I forgot that was even out.
It's going to be. I don't think it's out quite yet.
Doesn't it come out on Christmas?
Usually. I mean, it's a release day.
It's a big release day.
December 19th, so Friday. Anaconda.
Yep.
The SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants. I'm going to be honest. I hope this is okay with everybody. I've never seen an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants.
It's funny. Except the guy who does the voice died, and now you can tell that it's a different guy.
I feel like, you might not agree with me on this particular issue, but I feel like you'll understand where I'm coming from. So many people talk about SpongeBob SquarePants being so funny that when I watch it, I feel like it knows it's funny, and I don't want to laugh at it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're overthinking it. It's SpongeBob.
Well, hi. I'm Annie.
I think that show's been on for 27 years now or something crazy. So I don't think that it was meta when it came out, knowing that it was funny. And when you watch an episode, you have no clue when that one was made because they just run them randomly on Nickelodeon.
The first episode of SpongeBob SquarePants, what year do you think it started?
1998.
9.
That was close.
That was in high school. I wasn't watching SpongeBob at the time.
No, I wasn't either. But if you saw it, it was funny though. Like they made it to where you could watch it.
I think that when it came out, I was too cool for it, and I never grew out of being too cool for it, even though everybody I know thinks SpongeBob is funny.
Do you think that you have a reputation for being too cool for SpongeBob wherever you go?
I don't think my reputation from the outside looking in is ever that I'm too cool. I don't think I've ever been accused of being too cool.
You don't think that when people see you and they're like, she's got a radio show, that's cool. She's also too cool for SpongeBob. That doesn't come up.
Do you want to see my DMs of what people think of me that I talked about earlier in the show? When my husband's ready to throw down, and I'm like, I don't really think that you need to do that. I will. I'll show them to you right now.
There's a Christian movie about David. Well, I guess it could be Christian or Jewish. It's about David that's out now from Angel Studios too. That looks pretty good. Wicked, no desire to see that.
No.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
That's
2.
a sequel. Yeah.
I saw the first one.
What do you think of that?
Horror movie.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Don't read them out loud.
Wow. That's really blunt.
Straight to the point.
There's not any context either.
No,
It's
just a broad statement about my existence as a human.
Oh, man, the second one is even worse.
Yes, it does. It's progressive.
And all you said was thank you and the man's name.
Yeah.
Huh.
He didn't, I don't think he really felt my gratitude. It's just those are the messages that my husband got the notification.
When you see a message like this, do you think, this guy's having a rough time?
Yes, 100%. I've gotten many messages like this before, and I'll reply something. I try to be gracious about it or whatever, and they'll reply and apologize and say, I didn't. Like, I had one person tell me this. This is when I did a Saturday show. This person sent me this hateful message, and I was like, hey, listen, I'm really sorry that XYZ upset you. I believe this because of whatever. I do appreciate you listening to my show, and I do hope you have a good day. And they wrote back this long message about my wife left me that day, and I was in a really bad mood, and I took it out on you, and I'm sorry. And I was like, we're cool, man. Wow. I don't know that that's where this conversation is going. This is a man of few but vulgar words.
Man, I hate to say it, but I almost hope his wife left him, because that is a bad place to be if that's just every day.
If he talked to her like that, then yeah, I hope so. I don't know that he's ever landed one, though.
Ooh.
We'll see. Ethan, Sports and Local. We're all waiting for it. Coming up next.
We
all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands, or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Hold up. Check it out.
Sports and Local.
Murphin's Burgle Nuts.
Always a classic.
Ethan, somebody asks, does the flu shot, related to today's poll, does the flu shot help you sleep with deodorant? This is going back a few days now to a different conversation.
What did I miss?
And then right after that, literally right after that, somebody different number says, only a fool gets the flu in his best Mr. T voice. All of that's written.
Okay. Ethan, come on, let's go.
All right.
All right.
Oh, and then right after that, SpongeBob is hilarious on weed, man.
Okay. I'll have to try both those things for the first time together.
No, that's not a good study, because then you don't know which one you liked.
I can't believe you've never seen an episode of SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I grew up on SpongeBob.
You've never seen
that was like
The
by
Princess
far
Bride
my number one show.
or Spaceballs or what else haven't you seen that we told you to watch?
I've seen literally everything else.
A League of Their Own?
No, it's not what we talked about.
Have you ever been to a formal event where they had a SpongeBob theme? Because it was called Sponge Robert then.
Oh, my God. Ethan, let's get it going.
Okay, sounds good. Well, obviously, there's been a lot of unfortunate news stories this week with, the shooting occurring in Australia. That has, as a result, because it is, for the Jewish community, it is Hanukkah right now. Local Hanukkah events, not just local, nationwide, but local Hanukkah events are going to be increasing their security. Local organizers have been working with officials. This was a quote from Rabbi Chaim Landa saying, "It's always a concern at the top of minds in the entire community, but we deter. We work with our local law enforcement as well as security to ensure it is a safe and meaningful event." It's crazy to think that we are seeing it in 2025. Pretty, it is sad to think that, obviously this is many people in Australia are severely impacted by this, but it impacts people around the entire world as well. And it's really sad that is the case. Sticking with unfortunate news, we hadn't had the chance to talk about this, but in the last several days, a first responder in the greater St. Louis area passed away. Lieutenant Sarah McCarthy, a paramedic in St. Charles, passed away last week while in the line of duty. And today was the funeral procession. Hundreds of emergency vehicles lined the roads through St. Charles County, all the way to the Cathedral Basilica. They all stopped in front of the St. Charles County Ambulance District headquarters in St. Peter's. The lights and the sirens from many of the trucks were going a-blazing, and she was actually transported in her ambulance in which she worked in. So obviously super sad. It was a medical emergency that caused her death. Super sad, obviously, but it sounds like the first responders in the area honored her life really well today.
If you ever see a funeral procession for a first responder or especially military, it's a weird thing to say, but they are awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
Because everybody, you can see how much their life impacted people. Everybody pulls over. It's not just somebody going through town with their blinkers on. It's, you have all these cop cars and every official car you could imagine, sometimes going down the full interstate, and everybody's on the side of the road. It's the only time you ever see something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I can't remember the last time I saw one, but I most certainly have seen them throughout the years, and completely agree, Ryan. Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway recently announced that China has filed a $50 billion lawsuit against the state. It was filed on the behalf of the People's Government of Wuhan Municipality, the Chinese Academy of Sciences, and the Wuhan Institute of Virology. The complaint declares that Missouri to be an economic and reputational threat to the People's Republic of China.
Eric Schmidt wears this as a badge of honor. He was like, guys, check this out.
I'm so glad to see states taking on this issue in general, and our state especially, because the federal government can only do so much, but the state governments are doing a lot across the country.
According to the Missouri Attorney General's office, this filing comes after Hanoi tried to seize Chinese assets. The Attorney General's office noted that earlier this year, the state secured a $24 billion judgment against the People's Republic of China, the Chinese Communist Party, and related entities. This is historic $24 billion judgment, according to their office. The Attorney General's office alleges that China, for unleashing and worsening the COVID-19 pandemic, and the names included in China's lawsuit, as you guys mentioned, Eric Schmidt, as well as the state of Missouri represented by Governor Kehoe, the Missouri Attorney General, including former AG Andrew Bailey, and now who is now the co-deputy director of the FBI.
I remember asking, I think it was Senator Schmidt, then Attorney General Eric Schmidt, okay, you got this big judgment against China. How are you going to get them to pay it? He goes, they got land here. We'll take it.
Yep.
I mean, that's a summation, but that was the idea.
Didn't Catherine Hanaway recently say, too, that it's not even confined to Missouri land? That because
I'm not sure, but she's going to be in studio with us tomorrow.
Yes,
so
we'll find out.
Yeah.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. Yeah. Excited.
Switching to
Missouri Attorneys General, sorry, Dad, is where it's at.
Mm-hmm. Good job.
Thank you.
Your dad would be proud, and I would know.
He was ashamed of me when I said Attorney Generals for just a second, and then I corrected, and then he went, that's my girl.
Guess when he texted me?
Shame her.
In that 1 second.
Do the disappointed dad look at her, and do it right now.
And I did.
That's a pretty good look. Switching over to sports, St. Louis City has finalized a decision on its next head coach. Yohan DeMay will take over next year. DeMay becomes City's third full-time head coach in 4 seasons. Boy, that is a depressing sentence. This includes 2 interim coaches over the last 2 years. DeMay is 35, native of France, has worked in professional soccer coaching and managerial roles for nearly 2 decades now. Served as the assistant manager with the Columbus Crew for the past 3 seasons. They won the 2023 MLS Cup and the 2024 Leagues Cup, so they had a lot of success in which he was a part of there. Prior to that, he was involved with the LA Galaxy's second team and their organization, spent a long time with FC Cincinnati as well. He's taking over for interim coach David Critchley, who led City, like I said, on the interim basis since this past May, and he took over following City firing Olaf Melberg. Critchley is going to remain in the organization. He's going to be in a development role with some of the younger guys in the organization, so he'll still be around. But a big day for St. Louis City SC.
Hopefully he can put the paddles on the St. Louis sports scene.
No kidding.
Desperately needs it right now. Desperately. I mean, Daniel and I were talking about this last night, our producer outside right now, about just how much better the city does when the sports teams are doing well. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's almost like it is the heartbeat of the city, and when the teams are doing well, the blood is flowing, and there's just so much more life in the city. So it'd be nice for someone besides SLU basketball to be doing something besides losing.
I want to go to the bragging rights basketball game.
That's coming up.
It's Monday. I really want to go, and
they're both good.
I'm not opposed to paying for tickets, obviously, but they are pricey.
Are they?
Oh my gosh, yes. Like, I'm not going to pay hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars to sit at the top of the arena.
Yeah.
For a basketball game.
That's the way I feel about Nate Bargatze.
I think that going to a comedy show, it's cool to be. When I saw Tim Allen when he came to the Stiefel, and we were moderate. Not close, but not far, and on the main floor. And the atmosphere of laughing with people matters. Mm-hmm. So cheering with people at a sporting event matters as well. If you're at a baseball game, the field is so gigantic that everywhere is far because the field is huge. Football is 100 yards, obviously. That makes it, you can watch from afar. When my dad had season tickets to the Rams, they were in the end zone and in the 400 level, but it was a cool view. You could watch the football game happen. I find it harder to watch live football from the sideline than I do from the end zone, just because it looks like a video game. But basketball far away is much more difficult, and I really want to go. We watch all the Illinois basketball games at home. I want to take my kids. I do not want to at Christmas time spend $800 on tickets to go.
It is tougher, but watching sports, I feel like I can watch from the top row a little bit easier because you're watching the whole thing. With a performer, I want to be close because it's one person, especially with a stand-up comedian. You want to see that guy.
Yeah.
And yes, it is a communal experience, so it's probably okay because you're laughing at the jokes. But you go...
It's definitely a trade-off to be far away
Yeah.
to be with a community of people who are...
You go to see that person, especially with that kind of environment, that kind of show.
Blues play tonight and tomorrow night, from what Google says right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they got the Jets tonight, and they're pretty good. And we talked yesterday about some of the injuries that the Blues have had to deal with over the past several weeks and are continuing to occur. One of their top prospects is going to be making his NHL debut tonight, so a little bit of a piece of brightness in what has been a pretty frustrating season. So hopefully Otto Stenberg does well tonight.
All right. Well, go St. Louis sports.
Yeah.
Not Mizzou, though. You don't count.
Are the Blues still fairly close to a playoff spot? You said the other day that they were really not that far back.
They're not far away, but they're so banged up, and it's going to take so long for some of their impactful pieces to get back that, I don't know, I'm not optimistic that we're going to have a repeat of last year where they make this great run late.
All right, right before we went into this segment, Ryan said that he had kind of a saucy dream about the show, and he wanted to talk about it.
I didn't say saucy, but it was saucy.
He implied
I didn't
it.
say that, though.
What is this dream? This is a professional liability on my part, have not screened the dream for air. So we'll just do it live in the next segment.
I need to know what this dream means.
Oh. I'm good at that. We'll be right back.
Surprise! Surprise! Surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Claire Haver, a board-certified OBGYN and menopause specialist. My new podcast, Unpaused, is the place for bold, unfiltered conversations about what it really takes for women to thrive in the second half of life. Every week, I sit down with medical experts, cultural icons, and powerhouse women to talk about what really matters. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Listen to and follow Unpaused with me, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, America's largest family law firm. During this time of year, difficult relationships sometimes become impossible. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Today's YouTube live chat poll is the question, are you getting the flu shot? Have you already gotten it? Do you intend to? Or no, you're not going to get the flu shot? Couple of comments here. Jack says, I've gotten the flu shot every year for 20 years and never remember having the flu. Well, what do you think? Are you going to get it? Let us know. You got a little time before the top of the show. We give you the results just before 3 o'clock, before Mark Reardon takes over. 2:36. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
JerryKelly.com. From Belleville to Bridgeton, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Don't
I said Brian told me he had a dream about the show. And that could go a lot of ways. Joe wants to know in the YouTube chat about your dream being a little saucy. He said saucy as in having to do with that sexy green Grinch.
No, this was not a sexual dream at all. And so the Grinch did not appear.
But you were waiting.
I thought he might.
You were hoping.
But you know what, though? You kind of got to see what he's wearing before it becomes a normal Grinch dream or a sexy Grinch dream.
That's like a Halloween costume. Sexy Grinch.
Sexy Grinch.
It's like green little ears or something. I don't know what the Grinch looks like other than ugly. You had a dream about the show?
I did.
Do you dream a lot?
Not really. No. And when I was getting ready for work this morning, I'm like, oh, weird. Some of the things I was just thinking were not real. They happened in a dream. And then I started piecing together that dream.
Did you have emotion? Did you have like residual emotions from the dream?
Not really, other than I felt some regret.
Oh. Start from the beginning.
Okay. So in the dream, we were on the show. We were doing the show. And you announced, coming up next, John Cleese. Okay. And I said, John Cleese is going to be on the show? That's an incredible get. And a very random guest for Brad to have booked John Cleese from Monty Python, if you don't know who he is, and many other things. So I thought this is going to be great. So I'm like, I'm going to sit in on this interview with John Cleese. He was going to be in studio. So John Cleese comes in studio. And why him? I wasn't watching a movie that involved him. No idea. But he comes in the studio, and the interview starts, and I'm like, this is really neat. And I find about halfway through the interview, and it is going long. I don't know what you guys were engaged in, but I was starting to lose focus. And I realized about 20 minutes into this interview, I'm actually kind of bored. This interview, which I was looking forward to all of a sudden, has become very boring, and it is not stopping. So I decide, I think I'm going to leave. So I just leave, and I go into a gymnasium. In this gymnasium, a bunch of people are waiting like there's something getting ready to start. And I'm like, well, this will probably be interesting. Let's see what this is. And a high school marching band comes in, and they start playing America's Sweetheart. The song
you got it bad
that starts the Annie Fry show. And I'm like, well, that's really neat. How neat and thoughtful of them. And Annie's not even in here, which I didn't think of at the time. But I'm like, they're playing the Annie Fry Show theme song. And then they announce coming up next is a drama. And I'm like, what's this going to be? So the marching band leaves. They only played that one song, and then they left.
Where's the sexy Grinch?
He's not in there at all.
Would have made it better.
So then this drama starts, and it has nothing to do with the show. And I'm like, uh-oh, this is getting boring now, too.
This feels really meta.
So
I think you were manifesting.
I was in this drama, and I was in the middle of the auditorium, too. And I'm like, oh, great. How do I get out of this thing? So I just sneak out. I just left.
Dream stories, if you want to tell people your dreams, there should be a Congress legislated limit on how many times you can say, so. You get 3, and then you have to stop.
Then.
Or at least.
I left the auditorium, and I thought, I'm such an idiot. I should have gotten John Cleese's autograph or a picture with him or something. I needed to get a picture with John Cleese. How often do you get to just stand next to this comedy legend? So I came back into, there it is. I came back into the studio, and you were still interviewing him, but you were just concluding.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, great. I can get this picture. It's going to be great. And before I know it, a huge line of, I guess, whoever was in that auditorium had come and started to form to get pictures with John Cleese. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm too late. I got to get in line. And I thought, wait a minute, no, I'm on the show. I'll act as if I'm in charge of the line. And I did. I said, everybody, here's the line right here. Everybody just get back here, and we're going to wind around here, and I'll just kind of take care of this right here. And then I didn't get my picture, and I realized, and here's where the regret comes in.
We haven't gotten there yet?
Nope.
Okay. I have some.
I had just made myself in charge of a really long line for no reason. And now I have to work this line. And so I did, and it lasted a long time, much as this dream and story have. And that's the end. Although there was a big jar of spaghetti sauce at the end, I'm not really sure how that played into anything, and you told me that I needed to throw it out because it was getting old. That's it. I just want to let you know. Now, give me your interpretation of why I had this dream, please.
I just think that at every turn of that dream, it was never really about the show. It was all about you. And C.
And John Cleese.
We'll be right back. Let's just say that around work or around home, you've got a pest. and
you're doing it in the ad. You could have just said that at the end of the segment.
You need to remove a pest. Who I'm texting Point Pest Control right now.
I like those people.
I don't know.
Hey,
you shush. This is my time. This is my dream. My fantasy. That I call Point Pest Control 636-798-0023, and I say, all right, what kind of pest are we talking about here? Do you have a size limit? Do you have a tolerance limit? Does it have to be creepy crawly, or can it just talk too much? Because I have a pest problem. You've already taken care of my pest problem at home, but Point Pest Control, I know that you do commercial pests.
Are you talking about some weird kind of
Shush!
rat?
And I have a pest problem. And when I have a pest problem, there's only one place that I call. Now, at home, Point Pest Control, I'm already a premier service plan subscriber. And quarterly, you come treat my home on the inside and the outside. And all of the people who I love are safe with the treatment inside my house, outside my house. And guess what? All the pests are gone. So what do we got to do to make that type of a relationship work here on the Annie Fry Show in this room? If we were to say, you know, like mice, spiders,
turtles,
rodents, rats, possums who play dead and think they're funny,
wolverines.
I don't know where your limit is, Point Pest Control, but I know that if it's doable, Point Pest Control will do it. And if you've got if you've got a pest problem, I don't know how big your pest problem is, but mine is about 5'5".
No, dang it. That's a good joke, but that's not true.
270. And he wears a hat. And if I need to do this again for you, Point Pest Control, I will gladly. 636-798-0023. 636-798-0023. Hopefully they can control your pest problem as well as they have at my home. We're working on the one here at the job. PointPestControl.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for the Doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. We call them the Doctors because they've treated more than 250 doctors, more than any other practice in St. Louis. So if you're looking for the best doctors for your best vision, it's Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. Doctors Birdie and Malhotra are cornea surgeons and experts in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. I had an eye disease when I was younger. It left me with a silicone buckle around my right eye, so I put my trust in Ophthalmology Associates to take care of my annual checkups. Maybe you're experiencing dry eye, allergy eyes. They can help. They can help with cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, and LASIK surgeries. And if you're looking for the best eye care, it's Ophthalmology Associates. Make an appointment today by calling 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com. They have a great office location just west of 270 on Manchester Road. Again, the phone number, 314-966-5000. The website, youridoc.com. Ophthalmology Associates.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, it's Annie. Christmas is a time of hope. It's a time of excitement, and it's also a time to be still. Merry Christmas to you from my family, from my kiddos, from our family here on the Annie Fry Show. God's peace.
With conviction and clarity, the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
out of 10, how good is this song?
I'd put this one at a 10.
Really?
No, but everybody hates it, and I like it.
You do like it?
I wouldn't put it at a 10, but I do like this song.
I don't think I've heard it that much this year. I didn't mind it. It does sound like Christmas to me.
Yeah.
I just think that they could have put a little more effort.
It does, yeah. It's a little lazy.
Okay, I get it. Yes, I understand.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on in the song. He doesn't tell a lot of stories. And that stinks because Paul McCartney is a good storyteller. And he could. And he's like, people are showing up at my house. Bonk, bonk, bonk. It's Christmas. Print it.
I've got so many stories set aside that we could talk about. None of them that I really feel are good to wrap a show up at the very end of the show here. I'm going to do this one here. This is a quote from apparently, I guess it was it the Times? This is a J.D. Vance comment. So they were taking pictures for an article or something. And the New York Times reported this. And they reported it like they had this, like, what a scoop, salacious headline. And they're talking about taking pictures of, like, J.D. Vance was there and talking to the photographer. And the quote is, the underlying tension came through when Mr. Vance posed for the magazine's photographer. Quote, I'll give you $100 for every person you make look really crappy. I'm changing a word there. I'll give you $100 for every person you make look really crappy compared to me, and $1,000 if it's Marco.
That's funny.
And they're like, dissension in the ranks.
Oh, that's the story? Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
It's a New York Times piece that says Susie Wiles, Trump's chief of staff, criticizes Bondi and Vance in candidate interviews. They're just trying to pick apart at the cabinet and make it seem like they're not functional and that they're fighting. You know, they're going to have disagreements, and they're going to have big disagreements because they're talking about big things. And any wise person in the office of the presidency is going to surround themselves with people who are going to approach situations with a common end goal, but with innovative, different skills, experience, perspectives that they can contribute to the conversation where the president can say, I've heard it all. Here's what we're going to do. So, of course, they're going to argue with each other or debate or whatever. The depth with which people like the Times or some of these other publications are trying to manifest this type of dissension is kind of sad and pathetic because this administration specifically has worked so diligently to be so transparent and so accessible that you can report a story like this, and then a reporter can go in there and say, is J.D. Vance trying to subvert Marco Rubio as the Secretary of State? Is our foreign policy in peril because the Vice President of the United States wants to make the Secretary of State look bad? And then when they answer that question, they can make fun of the story, and they do. They don't take things seriously that are unserious things. And that is refreshing. That is very normal. That's like normie behavior where, you know, we certainly do this a lot on the show, and we're not batting 1,000 on making sure that we call out the unserious things and make fun of them. But everybody's trying to make light and have fun as much as possible because the serious things in life are heavy, and they're, the gravity of those situations goes deep into your soul. But there aren't a whole lot of things. If you really boil it down, there aren't a whole lot of things in your life that deserve that much time, mental energy, heart energy, gut energy, where you're going to give yourself over to feeling bad, to being angry, to being upset, or even to being like overly joyful. What these reporters try to do is make you feel, you know, dial it up to 11 on everything all the time so that you react. But it's you got to keep getting the hit. You got to do it over and over and over again in order to trade in sensationalism. And then you got to make sure you hit the mark come the election time. You got to make sure you spark the right emotion. Think of how substantive. I've talked to several people lately in my life who talk about listening to the show, and they love the show, and they always say that they love how we laugh and how we have fun. every once in a while there might be someone who's like, I really, appreciate your political takes or whatever. But like for every time that happens, probably 24 times people are like, I just love how you guys have fun and they like the way we talk about our faith or our families and everything. Those are the things in life that really matter. None of the stuff politically matters if it doesn't matter to your faith and your family. And there's a whole industry, and I mean, it's, I guess, really our industry, who's trying to get it twisted and flip it upside down and say that the politics are the thing that matter the most, and so it should take up all your time. And it's just really not the case. If you've got Vice President J.D. Vance and they're saying, I'll give you $100 for every person you make look really crappy compared to me and $1,000 if it's Marco, that's just funny. And coworkers that you have in your office or your place of work who would say something exactly like that. And I really think that this administration has cut through to the people who are independent minds. They see that and they're like, it's not like that pulls them into Team Trump, but they're not buying what the New York Times are selling anymore. People are tired of it.
And in fact, when you hear the New York Times did that to those comments, it makes you trust them less and less and less, which is why media trust is so low, because everybody has figured out now, I think especially through the COVID era, like the whole country has figured out that the media has been manipulating them for a long time and misusing the power that they've been given to accomplish something. And that is such a great example, that story, because it's not really consequential, but somebody saw that interchange between Vance and maybe Rubio, I don't know if he was there or not, and said, I know how I can spin this. And that means that they had an agenda, and that agenda was to lie about the moment, because that moment was not anything to do with their relationship. In fact, it showed the opposite of what they're trying to paint.
The ends always justify the means. They already know where they're trying to get, and they're willing to do what they need to do to get there. We were talking about movies that are coming out. Avatar is probably supposed to be maybe the biggest release that is coming out. We might see that. I don't know. I'm going to wait and see what people say about it, like if it's a really great story. When Avatar came out the first time, the technology and the delivery of the film was super innovative, so it was a huge draw. I mean, you can AI and computer generate an entire movie right now, probably based on prompts to an extent. So I don't know how much people are wowed by that. I don't know what the next thing, like smell-o-vision or something like that. I don't know what the next thing is to get people back. 3D, okay. I don't prefer to see movies in 3D, honestly.
Not if you have to wear glasses the whole time or wear stuff.
What other option is there?
Well, if there's, I guess there are ways to make it look more realistic. I mean, really what I'm talking about here is what Avatar did, where they just add so many more pixels and frame rate to everything, but it feels more real. But it's not technically 3D.
But you still like when they release them in 3D, you still have to wear glasses.
Yeah, you do.
The original Avatar was 3D.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't think I realized that.
YouTube poll for today: are you getting the flu shot?
I'm going to answer this with intend to, but I a lot of times intend to and then don't. So
basically what you're saying is you're not like morally completely opposed to it, but you haven't prioritized it.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, I just don't. If it happens, like if I go to the doctor at the right time, they're like, you've had one, we have one, I'd say, okay. Mm-hmm. But I don't go out of my way to get it.
Brad?
I haven't even thought about getting the flu shot until this poll today. So, no, I don't intend to.
It's a nope?
Yeah, it's a no.
Yeah, I haven't been to the doctor to be in that position, and I'm not going to go get one. I kind of, to your extent, in the past, I've always been like, if I'm there, okay. But I don't think I'm getting it this year. But I'm a lot more mindful about if I'm sick, I'll stay to myself. But I don't know that I'm running to that. I've gone back and forth with the flu shot in my lifetime. We asked you, 256 votes in today. 5% intend to, only.
Wow.
25% already did, and 70% said nope.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that. I thought it'd be a little more 50-50. Thank you for voting today. Keep it right here, The Mark Reardon Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. Next.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money. Sponsored by Wesley Financial.
You don't have to wait until January to work on your financial goals for next year. Sherry Greco-Rikis of EP Wealth in Chicago says saving money in 2026 will be a matter of set it and forget it.
Just automate it. Just have it go out of your account and go into a high interest savings. And when you have enough, you can start investing.
She says you can also work on next year's savings goals for travel or big purchases. I'm Rob Hart.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
Doesn't it feel like you hear all the time from retired friends and family, I wish someone had told me this before I retired? Or why didn't anybody tell me this? Why is this not a class? Well, that's exactly why Financial and Tax Architects was founded. FTA keeps hardworking families in St. Louis make sense of retirement. They show them how to keep more of what they've earned and how to make it last. That way you can get some sleep at night. You don't have to second guess every expense leading up to retirement. You understand what's going on. Their Retirement Planning 101 class is a practical, no-cost course. They teach it at local colleges. It's just one night. You learn strategies to reduce taxes, plan your income, make confident decisions about Social Security and taxes and inflation. And FTA focuses on education. They try to change the way you retire. Call 888-5101 or go to fta-ria.com to register.
Hey, good morning. You're heading the airport.